Come on, toothpick at.
What up, y'all? So
What's going
it's
on, y'all? Back
Tuesday.
again.
We back for another episode of the Chondro Bar Room. We
And
appreciate
that thing.
everybody who showed up early. Was good. It's your boy Travis from Mongrel Reptiles, and we got Keno from Windy City Chondros, um, going by his new moniker, Taquarius the Aquarius. That's his pimp name.
Nah. This man ridiculous. What's going on, y'all? It's another Tuesday. Chad with his usual antics and shenanigans. What we're gonna
Taquarius the
do is,
Aquarius.
you know what
What
I'm saying,
up, Billy Boy?
for sure,
Who else we got here?
it's gonna be a fellowship tonight. You know what I'm saying?
1776, Tradesman, Becca,
Who all up in
well,
here?
Jeff Hoschel. We got Trey. We got Salad Mander, Tuck, Noe,
Yeah,
and
no, we got
1776,
Tuck.
man. You gotta stop coming here early 1776, and you don't want to bring your ass on the show, man. I think that's blasphemous. And we're gonna
Yeah,
beat you up
you
when we
know?
see you. We're gonna beat you up when we
Yeah.
see you, brother.
Hey, you know what I'm saying? Hey, you're gonna have to you're gonna have to get to catch these hands, 1776. You're gonna have to catch these American hands.
He is American.
I know, that's why I said 1776. You know, you didn't get it? Damn. You know what I'm
Yeah, I
saying?
get it now.
Catch these American hands, you know? These independence
American,
hands.
American fist. We got Mikey Marsh. We got cousin Earl.
Stupid. But there you go. You out.
uh, you want to go first? You got anything you want to talk about, Keno?
Huh. Man, remember that yak, man, that yak. You know what I'm saying? You had that yak, dude.
Like, baby, when you give him medicine.
Now that yak, sometimes creep up on you again. Jump on your throat. But you know, I told you the other day,
In your
like
mouth.
a few of the, hold on, man. A few of the babies didn't eat.
Yeah.
Four of them all shedding tonight at the same time.
Wow, man, that's normal, bro. Like sometimes, like
Yeah.
you had the babies, and like 1 week you try to feed them, and like 9 don't want to eat. You're just like, I guess what happens? I guess what's gonna happen? And come Monday, like they're all in shed. You're like, I should
You
have
know what I'm
figured it
saying?
out.
Bro, it
I
was like
should have figured it out.
2 days later, they all went gray.
Yeah, Earl said you
They
drinking
literally
that
all
test.
shedding. They usually are drinking that Tesla, man. You know how it go. Hit you right here. Hit you right here, Earl. Right here. You know what I'm saying? All up and up. But yeah, all four of them shedding at the same time. So I'm probably gonna feed them. What's the day? Tuesday.
It's
I'll probably try
Tuesday.
to feed them Thursday on the next cleanup. Unless somebody shit tonight. Which that's probably gonna
Okay.
happen. So I'm probably gonna be cleaning up tomorrow.
Yeah, we finally got some rain here today. I don't think it's rained here in like over 2 months. It's just been dry as
Right.
shit. So we finally got some rain. So I
That's
had the
right.
garage door up all day, just letting the snakes just enjoy some of that while I was outside getting my ass kicked by my wife's brake caliper and brake situation in general. So,
You thought you was Mr. Fix It. You thought you was Mr. Fix It, huh? Went out there and
bro,
got the wrong damn brakes.
bro, so they put the wrong brakes in the box, and they were just like, "This happens every once in a while." I'm just like, bro, it's like 9 o'clock. Like I don't got time for this shit at like 9 o'clock at night. And then uh, the bleeder screw like that got warped and it didn't want to come off, so I had to go and get a piece to get that off. Then it turns to then I find out that the caliper is broken because it's just old, and that's the reason why I'm changing these brakes again. So it's just that's the reason why. But I digress. I guess as far as next stuff, like I don't really got much going. I still got surrounds for sale, and that's pretty much it, man.
Oh,
I'm
that's the
seeing,
wrong Biak. That's the wrong Biak. Speaking of, the rest the wrong Biak is spoken for. Took a deposit on that. So that should be going to Wisconsin sometime. What is it, October? I mean, what is it, August?
yes, August. You be able to
Probably,
ship in September.
yeah, probably like end of September. Probably do a shot to ship that out. First week of
Yes,
October.
yes,
Gonna get
salamander,
that boy
small
Nato
jobs.
tested. Gonna get that boy Nato tested after he paid. He gonna do the damn thing. But yeah, man.
Hey, I don't got nothing else
Um,
besides that. It's people I see growing. It's people I see doing some things, man. You know, when we talk about things between people and they ask us for our opinions and stuff like that, or they show us, like, we don't tell anybody else, but people are doing things right now. This is
yeah.
this is the this is the season for it. So
The truth
I'm
thing is, the truth of the matter is that's been going on, but we just not the people
yeah
like to brag on that shit. But yeah,
yeah
man,
we
there's
don't
people in the we got people in the chamber that's doing shit, and then it's like on the low, sneaking it around with the right hand left Travis thing, like, hey, watch my right hand, but the left like trying to smack you against the back of your head.
man. Why you
There's a
keep
few,
saying that shit?
because that's how you get out.
No, it's
Well,
not how I get down.
it is. There's a few people out there that's doing that, and yeah, we finna have them on the show real soon, just so keep it tight. You know what I'm saying? You know how the Chondro Bar Room, you mess around, might see a legend on here. You mess around, might see somebody that you ain't never seen before on here. But we seen
Yeah,
them. And
often.
uh,
Uh,
so,
so I think
yeah,
that, like,
we gonna definitely put on the people who hey, shout out to the chat, man. Shout out to the chat. Shout out to our damn sponsor,
he
Chris,
said,
man.
"Oh,
Y'all,
Tyler said I've been looking for real."
what?
I guess he's been seeing something. Uh, Trey, he said, "Yeah, I've been looking for real." I guess he's looking for things, but
Tyler
yeah,
Willis say he been looking for things. He been looking.
I guess so, man. I don't know what he's looking for, but I guess what I want to say about that is, like, we appreciate, like, the people that interact with us on the show and, like, offline about different things.
For
We
sure,
we
man.
we genuinely love having this sense of community and kicking it with y'all, even
Yeah.
when I'm trying to, like, go to work.
Chad be acting a fool. That's at work. At work, he be in rare form.
That's not true.
Yes, it
Yeah,
is.
that's not true. You want me to tell them about some of the conversations we had before work?
About what?
You want me to tell them about the origins of Taquarius?
I mean, go ahead. Go ahead. You want to talk about that because you said that.
Nah,
How you want
really.
to start off? You want to start off from the beginning, or
You know what? You know what, man? There's so many conversations like that. I actually don't remember the origins of
Big
Taquarius
Memphis,
conversation.
big
You know
Memphis?
what? But you know what
Do
I
you
do
want to
remember? I remember the Taquarius rabbit hole.
the mosaic rabbit hole?
No, the Taquarius rabbit hole. The
The,
Facebook search.
the,
The-
that was wild.
oh man. Anyway, man. So we
Shout out to
gonna
the mosaics out there.
don't listen to that at all. Don't do that. He's not talking about snakes. Don't listen to that.
I'm talking
Uh,
Pedro animals, man.
we gonna get to the show. First of all, hey, shout out to our sponsor Chris. He sent me, and I forgot to download it, but he sent me a new picture of his new probe holder, and man, it looks amazing. So check in with Chris. You're gonna see. Uh, you're gonna see some new products from Chris. You're gonna see a little, commercial video from us for Chris. Eventually, once Chris gives us the footage. But
Yeah,
you know,
yeah. He
but
gotta get us that footage, but Chris gonna like, man, if y'all got some orders going on, Chris, be patient right now. He's trying to bounce back from his he gonna get him out to you though. He ain't closed up shop, but I think he moved his machine upstairs. He said,
yeah, and he has the. Hey man, we love you too, cousin Earls. he had the flood, so
Well,
he's
so
back. He had the flood, but he's back to producing things. So like that
yeah,
just shows you like how fast Chris really works, and you know
yeah,
how
for sure.
how quickly he wants to get things to y'all. Because Chris is a real good dude.
Yeah.
Um,
So if he's slacking a little bit, be patient with him. He got you.
yeah, he works
I
quick.
got some in the works, and he got some. I gotta be patient too.
He works quicker than everybody else, and I will tell you that. So if you order something from Chris, just go be there pretty quick. Um,
I can't snatch no perch out right now because they all being used, but I'm gonna have some more for sure.
yeah,
Treasures.
yeah. I mean, I got purchases, I got all types of stuff, man. Thanks to Chris. Um,
Becker, what's up? What Becker say?
she said, "Why didn't y'all come to Daytona NRBE?
Oh,
Because it's hella far." uh,
it's just bad
we'll
timing this year
both
for me,
be
Becker.
in Tinley though.
Pull up the Tinley, Becker.
We'll both be in Tinley, so you'll see us in Tinley. Probably
Oh, it
after
was
the
hot. You
parade.
said it was hot as fuck, and it was more like. So what you trying to say? So Florida people stink?
The Florida NARBC at Daytona was stanky, like people didn't put on deodorant or some shit.
That's like she
Somebody
not
else
the
said
first
that.
person that said that. Yeah,
Somebody else
I
said
heard
that.
they saying that Florida people out here just living off the fruits and berries.
You know what's crazy is that there is an old cologne called Florida Water.
Bro, just smell like a
It is.
swamp. Man. It smell like a swamp.
Smell like dingy pond water.
Hand out deodorant. He said he gonna hand out deodorant. Damn. But,
He
hey,
said,
look,
Tracer said,
Trey's been in Texas, ain't he?
no, Trey's been in Florida. He just
Oh,
looks
he in
like a
Florida.
Texan.
Okay, all right, cool. All right, cool. Because he gave me. I wanted for somebody from Florida to be on. They're gonna be decent. I don't want to get attacked. Yeah, we still got Florida people in the chamber for GTPs. I don't want them to drive off like, hey guys, fuck is
Hey
y'all
man,
doing tomorrow?
we've
Hurricanes
been
hit.
we've been trying to get more Florida people to come to the show, man. We've been trying to
But that's true.
get it cracking. We've been trying to get the
That's
Florida people to come, but y'all be acting crazy. We
we
got
got
one
we got
person.
we got
We got one
yeah.
person on the slate that we have just definitely coming. Tracer said, he said, I got a bottle of that Florida water. Uh,
Some
I
like
guess you're gonna see
crocodile
her in a second.
balls.
Yeah, but you know we've been trying to get Florida on. We're trying to see everywhere else, and you know we're enjoying this though. But let's bring our guest on.
They
So,
wilding on Florida.
fans, you'll be rich. It's certainly not, you know, fucking suntan lotion because everybody got that in Florida. Um, but yeah, we had Randy P on before a while ago. But we weren't recording it, and Randy was one of the
Yeah,
first people that really got down with the Chondro Bar Room.
for
And
sure.
since then,
It been from
a
day
lo-
one.
and since then, you know, Randy's actually done a crazy amount of stuff too. Um,
Yeah.
so like we're gonna talk about all that stuff, and we're gonna joke on them. Also, like why the jokes, like the videos kept getting, you know, more and more sexual is because Randy's wife doesn't like it. So we did that in spite of her. Well, it's not a we, it's me. She doesn't like it when I call him a heartthrob, but he is. I know he out here got women at Costco
Haley,
giving him extra samples and shit.
Haley,
You
I just
look
want to
so
let you know,
cute.
Haley, uh, you know what? Haley, put less bullets in me than you do Travis, please. That's all I'm gonna say. I'm
I'm
probably gonna be
not worried.
standing near him. So just
I'm
fuck.
not worried about Haley.
I don't know, bro. She be killing. She be killing shit, bro. I seen it, bro.
What she kill? She kills squirrels. I don't know. Haley probably does kill people. But anyway, we're gonna bring in our guest.
I didn't say people.
We're gonna bring in our guest, Haley's husband, Mr. Randy P.
Shout out to Randy.
What's going on, guys?
What's going on, brother? How you been?
What's
Good.
up, Randy?
Just chilling, busy. Always busy.
Randy
Looking
looking
like
like
a
new money. Y'all see
yeah.
the office?
He looks
Yeah.
like, you know, like if Drake was sponsored by Mossy Oak. That's
God,
how it looks right
don't compare me to Drake. God damn. Anybody
He
but
said
him.
Drake.
Hate that guy.
Oh, man.
Who was the other
I
light
can see
skinned
a
R&B
little
singer?
Drake though.
Who was the
So John B.
R&B singer from like early 2000s? Craig David. You remember Craig David, the dude from England?
I remember
No.
Craig David. I do remember. I remember.
You can be Craig David.
I was going John B on me, but I can see that. See Craig David.
So what's
Anyway,
been going
man.
on, man?
Hey man, you what's going on, man? You've been killing it, man. You last time we talked to you, you said you was taking a break from the GTPs, then you
Yep.
ramped up the GTPs, and then you went back and you started doing the BOAs. You had some
Wow.
thing that's
There
taking
goes
off for
Trav.
you right now. Hey, did I leave or something?
You popped
You
out
gotta
for
realize
like 30 seconds.
Trav still see, you remember on IG how they used to always blame me. They used to be like, oh, and I had the pot on, I had the copper pot and the metal pot on my head and all that shit. Now
Those
y'all
good
seeing
times.
who it was. Now y'all seeing who it was all the time. Really, every week.
No,
y'all
it
see
wasn't. No, because when we let you host it, the shit just froze forever.
That didn't
You
start
had to get
happening
new
till
internet,
when
Kino.
did that start happening? That started happening with
Yeah.
But you froze right now.
my internet never changed.
Kino was using a cricket phone as a hotspot.
My internet never changed. That didn't start happening until the man came on the show.
Kino still buy his phone minutes from the store.
No. My internet been clear this whole time. It was just one time somebody called me and they messed up the audio.
He bought an Obama phone off a girl at a bus stop.
It's better
Wow,
now,
wow.
but Travis still
Trav
got that
gonna-
neon light behind him too, like he's in a strip club.
sex light, pimp light.
Hey man, hold it. Oh,
It's that Memphis vibe.
She said we can't call the show the Love Lounge. I was gonna call it the Grease Spot or some shit like that, but she said that's definitely not gonna happen. So no extra greasy time for you tonight, Mr. Randy P. Your wife is not gonna allow it.
Yeah, well, we'll see what time this ends. I'll wake her up. Should be fine.
All right. So
and I am a CEO, Tuck.
Yeah.
What I really do.
Yeah, see?
Hey man.
What's on somewhere?
Maybe y'all should link up. Y'all live close to each other, right?
Somewhat. I mean, I think Tuck's like Puyallup maybe, or it's probably like 2 hours away, 2.5 hours. I just never leave the island, man. I'm just like, I love it here. My life is here. I got 5 kids and 2 businesses, and then I play with the snakes on the side. So I've always got something going on, you know.
What island? You live on the island? What
You
island?
sound like.
What's wrong?
You said you
What
live
island
on an
you live on?
island?
Yeah. Yeah, there's an island here in Washington State called Whidbey Island. It's right below the San Juans. It's like the largest island on this side of the country. It's probably an hour drive from top to bottom, or just under. And there's about 4 or 5 little towns. I live on the north side, which has a Navy base up here, so it's somewhat populated. So.
Sounds
yeah,
like
we gotta take a
version of Moana.
Well, I mean, I lived everywhere, man. My dad was a pilot, so we moved all over the place. I lived in Corpus Christi, Texas, and Jacksonville, Florida, and Los Angeles. But when I moved up here, I lived down in El Centro, California too. It's just it's a slower pace of living up here. It's beautiful up here. It's more expensive than a lot of the areas in the South,
Chuck?
but
Right.
I really enjoy it. Fishing and like hanging out in the woods with my family and doing that kind of stuff. I like to be out.
Chuck, what's going on?
Do you
Chuck?
beaver hunting? Do you hunt for beavers up there?
Not anymore. Retired.
I mean, he is.
But I used to be.
He's still hunting.
I mean,
still hunting beaver. It's just only one. It's only one beaver getting hunted.
No, I'm not talking about that kind of beaver. I'm talking about real beavers.
Oh, okay.
No, my buddy's like that. So when he comes up and visits me from Oregon, he brings bear and cougar and beaver.
Oh, cougars and beavers. Wow.
Cougars and
Do you ever combine the cougars and the beaver and get cougar beaver?
Yeah.
I didn't do that.
My little bling.
So, we're just gonna let you start all over. And
Okay.
we're gonna let you go into your background a little bit, and then we'll talk about some other things. You is it cut? Did it cut out again?
Yes, it did.
See?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that wasn't
Yeah.
mine. It wasn't mine.
we
Wasn't-
just gonna talk about some other stuff besides that, and because I really want to make this have a bigger emphasis on the boas this time.
Okay.
So
Shout out to that white. Shout out to that white hen.
Right.
Yeah, that white hen.
Wow.
that's what he drinks.
Oh.
He likes. He likes that. That's what he likes.
No, pour it up.
It's one of the best liquors in the world.
It is. It is. It's one of the most sought after liquors in the world. I'll beg to hit you with it. Duval. So just
Yeah,
start
so
off
Randy,
from the
what's
beginning, Randy.
All right. So
But the GTP
beginning-
is really,
Yeah, I mean, just like everyone else getting into reptiles as a kid,
Yeah.
my mom said no to snakes, so of course here we are after I'm able to have snakes on my own, full blown. And I did it back in the day between 2007 and 2014. That's when I was mainly working with ball pythons and chondros.
Okay.
I started getting ball pythons first, but the same year I was getting ball pythons, I was kind of getting introduced to the green tree pythons. So I started just picking little imports up here and there, and
Who
just
was
building.
some of the ball python people you was listening to back then?
What's up?
Who was some of the ball python people you were listening to back then?
See,
Or
back
watching?
then. So the thing is like there wasn't a ton of social media when it comes to that kind of stuff. Like there was like iHerp, so it was like a social media for reptiles. There's also, and I just went to a lot of expos. I started going to expos in like 2006, so I started meeting all the local people. So that's really.
I
where
remember
it
back
came
then.
down from.
That's when Ralph Davis was really making videos and
Yeah, he was. Ralph Davis was making videos with
Yeah.
ball pythons.
yeah,
And
he was
then,
really doing his thing.
Yeah, Snake Bites TV came out like right after that, and then
Yeah,
I
for
dabbled. So I mean, if you go on YouTube and you search my name, you'll see like old school videos that look horrible. But if you really want to see that, it goes back.
See,
You seen them?
Yeah, we gotta go. No,
Yeah, we
I gotta
gotta
search
dig.
that now though. I gotta search that.
So you see some of my old stuff back in the day, and like one of my first chondro clutches and stuff like that. But to me, the chondros were so much more exciting. I really enjoyed them. I loved looking into the enclosure and always seeing them perched out. So chondros to me were like one of my first loves. When I first was able to, actually, what happened was I went through like a this heavy freezing period up here, and we lost power. So I was freaking out because I thought the snakes were gonna like freeze to death. And so I just kind of masked everything off with plastic in my garage and like covered everything with blankets.
How low did y'all temps get?
I think in the garage it was probably like, say, I don't think it was 60, maybe 58 degrees.
Damn.
Yeah. And so I was tripping out. I mean, they were kind of like drooped over the perch and stuff,
Yeah.
but they were alive. And so when I
Just like lethargic and shit.
yeah, so and then the power kicked
Yeah.
on that night, so it wasn't horrible. It was like that night or the next morning. And they slowly kind of got back up to temperature and everything like that. But, I said, well, I might as well use this as kind of a cycling and start putting snakes together and see if they're even interested. Because I started seeing the males, start acting, they're just cruising more. After the temperature went back up, like they acted like nothing happened. People worry about like respiratory infections and stuff all the time. I don't think that happens in a healthy snake. I mean, it can happen to any of us, but we don't just go outside in the cold and get sick. That's usually a combination of, compromised immune system, something else in the atmosphere. There's more going on than just getting sick from being cold. And I think it's the same thing with the snakes. So when I put them together, they
I
locked
agree
up
with
right
that.
away.
I agree with you on that one.
The thing is the very first clutch I had was I had green tree pythons before ball pythons, but I had each clutch the same year. So I hatched the green tree pythons first, and then I hatched the ball pythons. And in that same year, I just sold all the ball pythons because I was so enamored with the green tree pythons. The first green tree
Now you
python
had
clutch
so
for me,
that was your first ball python clutch and green G clutch in the same
the
year.
same year, yeah.
Oh
That
damn,
was in
Ball,
2009.
that's pretty cool.
2000, I think it was 2011.
Okay, 2011.
2011. Yeah. So yeah, 2011, 2012, and then 2013 or 14 was. So I had technically 4 clutches of chondros, but one clutch was completely slugs. It was just 11 slugs. But I still count that as like, okay, you got this far, you know. But I had 3 successful clutches, 2 from the
Yeah.
same female, but all from the same male. So, and that was Wamina to Jayapura. Both of the females were Jayapura, so there's 2 different females, Cash and Twitch. So I was doing the green tree python for a while. I was getting my help from a guy on YouTube named Cute Gay Jason.
Cute gay guy Jason, man.
Shout out to him, man.
Man, a legend in these YouTube streets.
He was one of the
Yeah,
only
man.
guys out there that was actually responding to me and helping me out. And he's actually bred them already. You know, he bred like emerald tree
Thought you was
boas, he
cute.
bred chondros, Burmese pythons, rainbow boas, red tail
Man, he was
boas. So
breeding a lot of shit.
yeah,
back
he
then.
had a lot on his, his resume already before I even reached out to him. That, and in conjunction with Greg Maxwell's book that I read cover to cover like 11 times,
Yeah.
that was a really easy book to read. And I hated reading, but it was almost like a story too, So
I agree. Yep.
yeah,
It was like having a sit down conversation with
Exactly.
somebody.
Yeah,
How they
it's
went
like
into detail about certain things and they
he's
gloss over other things. Like
exactly, like you're just getting his experience of how he did chondros. It's not
It was
necessarily
way
saying
to me. It was
that,
way better than part 2.
Yeah, well,
yeah.
I only had part 2, so I'll say that much. The complete.
But I think the
chondro.
pictures were a big deal too, man.
You had the more complete. Okay.
Yep, that's the one I used.
Number 2 was like the story, but number 1 was like look, this is what it is, and this how it is, this how it should be, this how it should look. Number 2 was more like the victory lap. It was like, hey, look, check it out. This is what I did. This is what I did.
I mean, it helped me. I didn't necessarily. I just used the things in there that I thought were legitimate, and I took those things. I used the igloo cooler that Damon Sal sees on albinochondro.com. He had the big white like igloo coolers. I used just like a small red and white one from Walmart. I cut like a plexiglass lid the size like to fit inside. I routed it out so I could just put it in there. So when I opened the lid, I could still see inside without dumping everything. And then I just layered it the same way he does in his videos, with the heat tape and the water trays. And then I just had a sealed egg box inside, and that's what I incubated everything in. Is really stable, and it worked well. I had one little fan in there blowing stuff around too. So yeah.
Were you able to do multiple clutches at a time in there, or just one?
I mean, I never had multiple clutches at the same time, so it was
okay.
But I could do up to 2 in there, in that little one, or maybe 3 small clutches or something like that.
Yeah.
But
Did you feel the need to have like a water pan in there at all?
Yeah, so I had 2 water pans at the bottom. They were like metal food grade water pans, and I just kept the water in there. And I actually had an air bubble stone. So if I felt that the humidity inside the chamber itself was getting too low, I could turn on the air stone, and it would create more humidity. But then you're going to have to fill those trays more often too. And then the only other thing that I did that a lot of people don't do is inside the actual egg box chamber, which I kept suspended over water, was I created a little dome over the eggs with like plastic fencing we use for like Amazon tree boas for the babies. And then I just laid like 2 pieces of paper towel over that. And so that every time I open the lid, people are like having it super sealed or like slanted or,
Yeah.
so I just did that. So when I open the lid,
What up, brother?
as much water could drop off the lid and it's not going to touch those eggs. And then I just take those paper towels and toss them and replace them. And I would just check them about once a week.
Okay.
And I incubated everything. I did it kind of more how Greg Maxwell's did it, where he starts at like 86.5 and then he ramps up to, I think, like 88 or something like that. And then it comes back down. So I did do that. I don't know how accurate it was because the thermostat I was using was, it was a Herpstat ND. It was decent.
It's like 10, 30, 10 things. He called it some shit.
Oh, you're talking about the Helix ones?
No, the
No.
10, 30, 10 little rule that Greg Maxwell used.
Yeah, it was. They were the
Like first 10
Herpstat
days.
ND, and a lot of people used them back in the day. They were pretty decent. The Herpstat nowadays are amazing, but
Yeah.
So that's how I incubated everything. It worked fine for me. I think sometimes people just look at these things like they're, and they
I remember
hold them
the
in such
Helix.
high.
I remember people used the Helix and the old Dow.
Yeah, people
Helix.
still use those. I
People
think
still want those
Triple-
helixes real bad.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
Triple L still sells them. But
What were you
So-
saying about how he hold the animals on pedestals though?
yeah, I think people just hold these animals on such high pedestals or in such high regard that they don't look at it like it's just it is another snake, And so I go into any species that I work with kind of like I want to learn as much as I can about the snake, as much natural history about the snake, but take everything with a grain of salt because anyone's success could lead towards your success. It doesn't mean that has to be the exact path that you need to take.
True.
And a lot of people don't realize that, there's a lot of ways to reach the same results. And sometimes better, So
I think
I
that
like
what we see now a lot of days is people think that just because they seen somebody else do something that they're going to do it the same way, have the same amount of success.
Yeah.
And in green trees, it just doesn't work that way.
No. And it's not consistent either. You look at anyone who's been doing green trees for a long time, and it's like 1 year they'll have like 6 clutches or whatever. The next year it's like maybe 1, So it's really inconsistent.
And I think that just like all around care for neos, like it can take a lot out of you depending on what type of clutch you have.
And it takes a lot out of the person too, because I remember, right, it was so long ago that I did the green tree pythons, but I know what you guys go through trying to get those babies established and then sell those babies, and then to hear maybe 6 months, a year, 2 years down the road that they couldn't take care of the animal and they passed away. Like that is heartbreaking too.
Yeah, that would be rough, man.
It's super rough, Kino, and it's going to happen. Like if you sell your babies, someone will eventually kill one, and it's inevitable. So you have to harden yourself off to those things,
man.
And the thing is with me, what I started to realize is this species is not for everyone, right?
Absolutely not.
I think a lot of people just don't want to go like the extra mile or whatever. Like you see me with my fish tanks, right? I used to do saltwater fish tanks. I used to do freshwater. I've done all kinds of stuff. Saltwater reef keeping is not for everyone. I did that for like 7 years, and it's intense. Like freshwater stuff looks just as nice. It's the same kind of concept. Like there's other species out there, and that's when I started.
I don't know, man.
Boas.
That saltwater, that saltwater, those tanks, they got the different glow to them.
Yeah, you've seen pictures of mine before, right?
Yeah, they got a different glow to them.
Yeah, it's fun. It's just as addicting as snakes or whatever. But the amount of money that I put back into my snake hobby in 2018 to get back into the hobby after selling my snakes, like I sold the whole tank and setup and bought all my caging and stuff. So you can do
one tank.
Yeah, but I built it in the wall, and then I had it plumbed into my garage so that the sump underneath was a 55-gallon tank that I built, and I put baffles in it so that it acted as a sump and a refugium, and then it has a
Okay.
pump that returned it back up to the main tank, and you viewed it from the dining room.
Oh,
That's a lot of
shit.
work, Randy.
Yeah, well,
So
that's
how
the
often?
thing,
Like,
man.
what was the
I'm
upkeep
I'm
on
always
that
busy.
tank?
So you have to be disciplined. You need to do weekly maintenance, right? I did weekly water changes, and I just did 15 to 20 gallons a week change. So then you're changing the full volume by the end of the month. You know, every month you're changing the full volume out, or thereabouts. But people nowadays, I guess they don't even do water changes. They remineralize the water, so they want to make sure whatever minerals are coming out, and it's really sophisticated now. But there's a lot of corals that, you know, when people tell me that something is too hard, that's what makes me interested in it. And I think that's what happened with the green tree pythons. Is a lot of people doubted me, and they just said, "No, you're not going to have any luck with those." Hey, Landon.
I want a black tip shark. I want a shark too, man. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah, I mean, everyone wants those big things, but you need huge tanks for those. And it's just like you're going to have this tank with sand and then one shark in it. Like, is that what you like? And to me, it's not really. Like, I like to look at something that's like an ecosystem with an animal in it. And I've kind of moved a lot of my keeping, you know.
But no, with the shark though, you can have like a sea anemone that eats goldfish. Boom.
Yeah, if you want to do that, I guess.
Boom.
But you also
Boom.
do the water landscapes too with the plants that are
Yeah.
just plants in
The
the aquarium.
aquascaping. I like that.
Yeah, the
It's
aquascaping.
easy. I tell people, if you want to get into fish keeping, and you like the aquascaping, if you can devote like 3 to 6 months of a lot of discipline and cleaning, then after that you don't even really have to do water changes, and it's really easy. Like, I don't do water changes at the one at my house now. It's a 75-gallon, and I just top it off. So when the water evaporates, I just add more water to it, and then maybe wipe the glass down. That's it. Clip some plants because they grow like crazy. I don't use any CO2 or anything like that.
You know, I remember back in the day, man, we used to have tanks. My mama, it would be like Saturday, we'd be cleaning day, and we had to have the hose.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that.
You gotta get it started, and I'm like, oh, I got
The fish poop in
shit
your
in my mouth.
I used to always get mad because I used to always be like, man, what the fuck is a little bottom feeder fish in here for? What the fuck I gotta suck this fucking water out for?
They eat algae.
Just every time you gotta suck that water out, just like feel like somebody just unleashed like a
man.
watery wet
Man,
fart
look,
in your
dog.
mouth.
You don't gotta wait till it
Look,
hits your
man.
mouth.
Yeah,
Like, go ahead, get it
fucking
started.
gross.
Like,
Go
oh,
start.
come on now.
Yeah, it's just like, why do I gotta do this? There's other people in this house with mouths. Why the fuck does it have to be me?
No, but I mean, I like the, you know, I just like nature in general, right? I like being out in nature. I like when I'm so busy, I like to bring that into my home. So my wife, you know, she knows that I get really involved into my hobbies. So if I'm out fishing for a whole weekend, she'd rather me be doing, you know, reptile keeping, because then I'm just like in my room, you know, in the snake room.
Why
Which
they want to just keep us all in the house all the time?
They always do, man. That's why they feed into these hobbies. They're like, well, if it's gonna keep them around, you know, like,
for real.
okay.
I was thinking about that too.
It's part of domestication. Location is part of domestication.
Like, no wonder
cool,
it's a PlayStation in every room now.
Yeah, and I don't
Bro,
really,
PlayStation,
I don't watch
Switch.
TV or nothing. So I go in my snake room after work, and sometimes I just sit there and look. I just want to veg out, and I just want to look at
Dre,
stuff.
you damn right.
Take
It's
some
damn
shit
right.
out.
It's called not using that shit and buying a new way. You're damn right.
It's all right. I still start the siphon with my mouth too. I'm old school.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what. I refuse to suck.
We grown now.
Suck
We grown now, Randy. We grown now, Randy. You don't gotta keep doing that no more, man.
I just don't get the water in my mouth. You just wait till it just gets over the rim of the aquarium,
man.
and then you're good.
Yeah. Sometimes it moves too fast, man.
Yo.
Just the
Yeah,
taste, you know, you could taste it.
I would not suck out that turtle water tank. Like
Oh,
that
no.
that
You're just gonna
turtle
let
tank
him
water.
die.
I was like,
Oh,
fuck
no.
no, I ain't doing
No.
that. I'll scoop this shit
Turtle
out.
water.
Fuck that.
The turtle,
Oh,
no,
man.
turtle water, you take it out, and then I just dump all the water out.
That's another story,
That
man.
turtle water was a different story. I was like, fuck that.
Turtles, you had a red-eared slider?
Yeah.
Yeah, me too. Growing up, that was my very first reptile. I was 8 years old. My mom
Yeah.
wouldn't get me a snake, so I settled for a turtle and
Probably
like a
cost
20 gallon.
like $10 in 1993.
Yeah, if that.
Yeah.
And then she got like 20-gallon aquarium or whatever, which was too small. And it was like,
Yeah.
you know, no filter. So I'd have to change the water out every week.
Yes.
And then it was
Man
disgusting.
man had like a rock. The rock was the dry land, and man.
Disgusting. You know, and then like one day I went to go pick little Rosie up and her head falls off because there's a bacterial infection. And you learn real
man.
quick, you know, that you need to do more than just the minimum.
Yeah.
You know,
fuck.
That's
fucking gross.
when you're 8 years old, what are you gonna do? There's
Young
no
days, man.
internet,
Straight
you
up.
know. Like I had to go to the library to learn about this shit. No one told me nothing. You know,
It was
We
just
used to catch toads from outside, bring them in.
Oh yeah,
Like, hey,
American
look,
toads.
let's put 3 of them in a
Western toads.
in a 20-gallon tank.
Absolutely.
Hey, did
Yeah,
y'all
me and
ever
my
take
friends-
toads? Y'all ever take toads and put them in like a bucket of water, and then like the next day they can't walk?
Nope.
Oh, I'm the only fucked up one here. All right,
Yeah.
well, whatever.
Yeah, I wasn't really in a torture. You know what I'm saying? Travis Vick with the
Travis
reptiles.
Vick. Hey man, sometimes you just find things out with experiments, man. That's all it was a fucking experiment.
You was experimenting a lot, though. You was.
What you mean by that?
Mike, let's carry on. Carry on. Let's go. Go ahead. Randy. Go ahead.
No, what
Go
you
ahead,
mean
brother
by
Randy. We can keep going, brother Randy. Next topic, brother Randy. Go ahead.
So I think really, you know, chondros really got me my foothold. You know, ball python started it, but green tree pythons really was my passion. I really started to get discouraged though. Obviously, I was going through a divorce around that time too, which you know was crazy. But I got discouraged with all the people who would just, you know, they would spend this money and they wouldn't do any research on the snakes, you know. And after, you know, you put all this work into it, it's really frustrating. So I wanted a species that kind of
you talking
gave
about the
us.
people that was you talking about the people that was like clients that was buying from you?
Yep.
Yeah, don't feel bad. I got divorced in 2011 too, bro.
Yeah. No. That was the best thing that ever happened to me. You know, like you think that those times are like the hardest times in your life, but you look back, you know, and I appreciate my wife so much now, but I tell her like, I don't know if I could appreciate you unless I had to go through that hell first, you know, like I would probably
I feel that.
She may have been just looked over like the other girls, you know, like, but I saw something good in that. So, and she
made you take your hat off.
She didn't give a shit. By that time, it was too late. I'm never taking my hat off, you know.
Why not?
I'm just kidding, man.
take it off of me one time. Go ahead.
No. I knew you were going to ask me too.
He sent me this weird video after I was joking on him.
Oh, send it to Keno.
I was just like, why the fuck did you send me this? I was like, bro, I was joking. You didn't have to do this.
I took a video with my hat off and my shirt off for him.
I was just like, why the fuck did you do this?
If there was any more curiosity, you know?
No.
He could keep the video with the shirt off.
Too.
I was so
confused. Like you could keep asking.
It felt like an attack.
The shirt. He can keep the shirtless video. I'm cool. That could be between you and Travis.
No, bro, I was confused.
Just keep
He'll
it.
Tell you like he'll tell you like I talked to him. I was just like, bro, what you send me this for? She said, "Send me that video." No, I don't even think I had it.
If it's the same video, you just keep that for research purposes for yourself. For the vault.
It's for the Love Lounge.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Keno, where'd you go?
Hold on, man. I have to go get some. Look, that Hennessy is got me motherfucking warm.
But yeah, so
take your shirt off.
what kind of came down to it was I was looking for another species.
I ain't gonna get no Kino Pablo tonight.
You know, when I got back into it, I was looking for another species that could kind of give me a similar aesthetics to green tree pythons, but were way hardier. You know, easier to breed.
Maybe Dre.
Easier to. What did he say?
He want to know we're doing another chip challenge. Listen, I talked to him.
We might need to record it, Kino. So.
No, man. When we did the chip challenge after we did the chip challenge, I had
the first time I ever seen Kino white.
Yeah, I had a long talk with Kino the day after. He was just like, he kept bringing up these scenarios in which he would do it again. I was like, bro, you almost died.
Yeah, you almost pretty rough, died. Kino. Your lips.
I'm gonna tell you this. I'm gonna tell you this. It's crazy y'all brought that up because the other day we were scrolling and we saw the 2023, the new chip, the green box.
Oh.
So
I'll buy the chips. You guys can do that.
No.
We might need to come up with some. No, it's not gonna be just that easy. It's not
a donation to the show. You know,
it's not gonna be that easy.
We don't need donations. There's no donations.
Right? Ain't no cash app.
We don't need no cash app, no super chats. We just do this shit.
Look, I'm gonna tell you this. I think if y'all want one of them before the year ends, we gotta make a real tough thing. Y'all gotta meet or something.
Yeah, I mean, we can make it a Christmas show or something. You know, once a year.
Oh no!
Look, I saw the chips. I saw the new packet chips the other day too.
Oh, I would throw up. Yeah, I'm with you, Tuck.
Yo, you know who Kino look like? Hey, y'all remember that movie Tales
He died
from
and
the
came
Hood?
back 3 times.
Y'all remember them little black dolls that look pale as shit? That's how Kino looked. He looked black and pale He looked black and pale at the same time after he ate that fucking chip.
It looked like Dave Chappelle on his crack scene, you know?
My lips instantly went white, though. That's something I didn't know. My lips instantly went white.
They was like he was snorting crack and coke all night long. They were just like pale, like turned inside out.
That was rough, man.
It looked like never been. I don't envy that shit.
If a black man was raised in Antarctica without the fucking sun, that's what I expected Kino to look like. Bro, Kino, you look like all the blood and life in your body had just fled your fucking face. you look sickly. You look like you had AIDS, Kino. You look like you look like in the next week you would die.
I did, but your face did swell up, Travis. You look like a mosaic.
Yo, and that's the thing about it. Everybody's body did something different.
Did yours swell up? I didn't even notice that, Travis.
Yeah, my face got hella.
He took his glasses off his face and he was like, man,
his sinus.
It's fucking eyes. It's like one of his fucking eyes are closed almost.
Yo, look like I've been shooting. Look like I've been shooting heroin in my face and missed the vein. It just got fat.
Up, my fucking face. I ain't gonna say that what it looks like. Never mind. You'll get me in trouble.
Oh man, we're not gonna do it again. No, I told you I'm gonna talk to Brittany if you bring it up again. So you say that shit one more time, I'm calling Brittany.
She found it.
Trying to die again. Hey, your son.
She found it.
Did y'all remember?
So she found it.
Like
I guess
really worried about him. His son was just like, "Daddy, are you gonna die?"
He didn't realize Daddy was a champion. You know what I'm saying? Had to show him.
Yo, me and Chuck, we were just like, all right, we're done with this. And Keto was just like, nah, I gotta keep going. I was like, nah, Keto, you can stop now. Just drink the fucking water. Keto was like,
nah.
And he just looked worse and worse and worse.
It was like when Ray got up. He was like, I can't let him take my cornbread, Clyde. Kept getting knocked out.
Oh, we're not doing that again. I love my family too much to engage in this bullshit with you, Ken. We're not.
You stood up, started shaking your hands out.
No,
we're gonna do it again. You gotta put some stipulations on it though.
No, so the first time
we gotta do it for YouTube, man.
Meg, see if there's
No,
anyone else in the chat that wants to do it with you guys and bring them on that day.
no. And first of all, we
Bring
really
Tuck
don't.
on that. Get
Randy,
Tuck to do that shit.
are you volunteering, Randy?
I'm voluntold Tuck and Chuck will do that.
I'm
I don't do that
voluntold.
shit.
And yo, bro, we felt really bad.
I'm
Like
an
we
owner. I
had to
don't do
talk
that
to.
dirty work.
We felt really bad. We had to talk to Chuck after because like not after, but like a couple days before because we had virtually like bullied Chuck into doing it because we were just messing with him. Then Chuck
Isn't
was
that
just
the
like,
show?
"Nah,
That's the whole show. I
yeah,
mean,
No, we didn't.
yeah,
We didn't bully Chuck into doing it. What
I'm
happened
just
was
we did bully Chuck.
we did.
We
Nah.
did. We did
Nah,
bully Chuck.
you did.
We together because we didn't
I
think
threw it out there as an idea. And I was
we
like,
kept
hey,
messing
y'all.
with him.
I'm like, for a show bonding thing, we should do
That's not what
this.
happened.
And
That's not
then,
what happened.
yes, it was. And then y'all was like, Chuck was like, nah, I don't want to do that shit.
And he kept saying he didn't want to do it.
Travis was like, I don't know, bro. I don't think that's a good idea, but fuck it, we could try it.
Mm-hmm.
So then
It-
Chuck kept
Well, I was
saying,
instigating
nah,
it
fuck
too.
this
The
shit. Fuck
shows
this shit.
prior.
I don't want to
Yeah.
do this shit. Fuck that
Yeah.
shit.
I didn't think you would actually do it. So
And we really kept it going with Chuck just to mess with him. And then,
And
like
one day I
that's
just
really
said, fuck it, I'm buying these. I'm sending them to y'all.
that's what happened. Like we really kind of like earned our own ass kicking because we shouldn't have did
Travis
that. to
did.
Chuck.
Travis did that.
No, Keto, you did the
That
majority.
was all
of it.
Travis.
that was you.
Well,
It's you.
I'm an angel, dog. You don't see this halo? I got a halo on, but it's being
He's a
blocked.
lie. He's a lie, motherfucker.
That was a devil sitting on your shoulder.
Yeah, but yeah. So you were talking about a hardier version of a GTP.
Yeah. I was trying to dabble in another species that I could also offer customers that didn't necessarily, need a whole explanation as to how to take care of them. Like a huge, in green tree pythons, we can make them complicated or we can make it super easy, right? Because people nowadays, we've done all the hard work and we say, if you keep them like this, this, and this, you're going to have success. The problem is no one wants to keep them like that. So that's the problem is they're going to keep them in exoterras. They're going to keep them in, fish tanks. They're going to keep them in, whatever
I just
bullshit
sent you.
that
Didn't
they
I
can
just
find.
send you like a 3-minute video that you asked me to see how it was set up when it was here, and then you get it there and it's the the opposite way of what you just asked me how to set it up.
Yeah,
That shit can be so frustrating, man.
It does, and I call those ask-holes. Like they ask you all these questions, you give them the rundown, you tell them exactly what to do, and then they don't fucking take any advice at all.
Yeah,
assholes.
Shout out to Tuck. We had to talk about an asshole this weekend.
Yeah, and but you can only do so much, right? You just cut your losses and you move on. But I wanted to offer a species that, I was breeding a few other species at the time. I was doing dart frogs. I had some different geckos at the time. I did do the ball pythons. I did sell those after that year. But I wanted something a little bit different that was kind of be arboreal, that maybe like if I did sell it to someone in Exoterra, it could stay alive in there, could thrive in there. And that was the Amazon tree boas. And, I started dabbling with the Amazons, not really thinking that I would fall in love with them the way I have, thinking that green trees would probably be my main show. And then the Amazons would take the back burner, but it's completely opposite. And the only reason being is because I'm so busy. I just had a lock with one of my chondro pairings just recently. So I am going to dabble in them. I'm hoping that maybe next season I can at least have one clutch just to try to do it again because it's been so long. But there's a lot of other species that I wanted to dabble with. I picked up these Dominican red mountain boas and been pretty successful, working with those guys. I've had those since 2018 and just produced them last year. I had 2 different pairings. a pastel male to a pastel female, and then I did a 2.1 pairing. So it was 2 red males to an orange female. Because you can, unlike chondros, you can actually do some of that stuff and actually add another male in there. If you ever added 2 males together, 2 chondros together, you'll know right away that something's wrong. Like they don't hesitate to show
Oh
you.
no, you can put
gonna-
the both males in there at the same time with the female.
I had before, because when I first got my green tree pythons, they were mislabeled by sex, right?
Nah, not with the green trees. I was talking about with the Dominicans.
Yeah,
Don't
the
breed
Dominicans you can, but you still have to watch them because Chilobothras, the Jamaican boas are known to be a little bit more aggressive. The Dominicans, they can cohab like that, but you got to be careful. So when I bred them, yes, they're fine. I had 2 males in there. What they did is they take the female and they both wrap their body all the way around the female. And
we got arboreal gangbangs going down
pretty
in the
much
Love Lounge.
It was orgy, whatever you want to call it, devil's 3-way. And then the males were just fighting to try to get to the cloaca. What they were doing is spurring all the scales on all the snakes. So when they were done, they felt like their scales were keeled because they were just peeling them back forever. They were probably
just rough sex. A lot of rough sex.
They were probably in that position for probably 4 weeks, 3 to 4 weeks, I think. They were just locked up like that. They didn't want to barely drink water. They didn't want to eat. I just left them alone, and
damn. So you got to really make sure that like your female is like really fattened up going into the season.
Yeah. So with the boas,
man, she getting piped twice for 4 weeks straight. That's
those Dominican
marathon bukakis going down.
See,
in the Love
Travis
Lounge.
is just telling us all his porn genres now for no fucking reason.
Exactly. He's just scrolling through. He's just scrolling
like he's so square.
Filter.
Like, no, come on.
Travis doesn't watch porn. He watches Skinamax porn.
He reads it.
Travis.
Sure,
Travis.
I watch rigorous dry humping on Cinemax.
No, you don't, Travis. You watch old women over 60 get naked.
But the Dominicans
that is actually true.
Oh my god. We're children here. Children.
Travis is the ultimate.
No, but that's why I love coming on here, man. I love bullshitting, man. It's like life is too serious all the fucking time. We gotta joke around and have a good time.
No, but we talking about Travis is serious though. That's really what Travis do.
I'm trying to gloss over that, man. Let's keep going.
No, that's why he got a truck. That's why he got a truck. Well, go ahead.
I got a truck too. That's fine.
You said I put old ladies in my truck.
Whatever. It's a pickup.
Just meet them. Just pick them up at the Golden Corral.
Feel like they're in the hover round.
Is that a Memphis thing?
No.
Memphis thing?
It might be. It might be, bro. I don't know.
Please tell me you got some gator boots at least.
I got python boots.
He does. He does. He does. Damn it. I was kidding, Travis. Son of a bitch.
Hey man, you gotta have some exclusive, luxurious leathers in your
like
home.
I said,
Memphis.
Anybody who has paid attention, they see that when you get a puzzle, right? You get a puzzle, and the pieces are everywhere. And you slowly start putting these puzzle pieces together, and what happens is you see the picture.
Keno thinks that I'm
that's all people are
pimp.
doing.
I'm not a pimp, and I wasn't raised by pimps because Keno thinks I was raised by pimps.
Did I say that?
His blood.
You did say that.
Did I say that?
You said that on Saturday.
I did not say that at all. I was talking about putting a piece of puzzle together.
You said that on Saturday. You said I was raised by a roving band of pimps.
It's probably in your DNA somewhere.
I mean, kind of, but like not really.
I mean, Keno's partially, exaggerating, but there's still some truth there.
No, I'm not, Randy.
Okay. I mean, he's not.
He sent me an hour. He sent me an hour documentary on pimping.
It's not a documentary. It was an interview. It's not a fucking documentary.
But who? So who interviewed who? It was a white documentarian interviewing who?
Who was
A
it?
pimp.
And his pimp's name was what?
It don't matter what his name was.
What was his name?
It don't
No.
matter.
What was his name? What was his name, Travis?
It don't matter what his name was. His name was Big Memphis. I don't know everybody in fucking Memphis, so fuck y'all.
He sends me this, and I miss it, and he reminded me like 3 days later, like, yeah, man, you should go watch this. So you tell me, is he trying to show me something? What is this?
Where did he
Where am I
go?
getting?
I'm here. Hey, thanks, Chuck. We'll address it. It's something completely different. But no,
Okay.
I'm not. That's not true. I don't know Big Memphis. I don't know every pimp in Memphis. Do I know some pimps in Memphis? Yeah, I do. But I don't know them all.
He knows some pimps in Memphis.
Down their fucking ways.
That's the majority of them.
Is are you related? Are you related?
I
to
mean,
some
how
pimps in
many
Memphis?
pimps can be?
Yes.
I mean, it's a competition thing, right? They all know each other anyways. So.
Are you related to some pimps and that's also a pastor in Memphis?
Yes or no? Yes or no? That's it.
Yes, one.
Okay, then.
Yes, one.
That's it. Keno's right this whole time. I thought he was exaggerating.
No,
Nope.
but it's not real.
He's
it's not a
not.
real thing. It's
Well,
not a
it
real
might be a little
thing.
bit real. Maybe somewhat real.
You said it to me. Have Randy seen
What?
pictures of your uncle? Has he seen pictures of your uncle?
Which uncle? No, man, don't be sending him pictures, bro. Leave that shit alone.
I'm not. I'm asking. The one with his shoes.
Do
when
not
his shoes
send me
match-
pictures of
shoes-
his goddamn uncles. Do not.
I'm talking about when the one with his shoes and his whole outfit matches cop. The
With
inside.
the
That's not
pointy
my-
shoes?
That's not my actual uncle, though. So he's my
All
dad's
right.
best friend. So he's not my uncle.
All right.
Yeah.
All right, carry on, Randy, because he in the now. So
Mhm. It's all right.
Niggas
We'll
in-
circle. We'll circle back.
Negroes
We'll
are in the
circle
now.
back. We'll circle
Listen, I need you to chill out, bro. I'm here with you. I'm not pimping. I'm not on the blade. I'm not doing none of that shit. I'm here with you, brothers.
What's the blade? Explain what the blade is.
Shut up. Let's move on. Let's move on.
What's the blade to the fellowship? Explain that to the fellowship.
I'm not gonna explain it to them. They got Urban Dictionary. They'll figure it out.
The blade.
back. I'm gonna look that shit up right now. Goddamn, I'm
Professional.
too white for that one.
Professional, Randy.
What is the blade? Urban Dictionary.
Professional.
All right, but anyways.
Fuck y'all.
What's the blade? Explain what the blade is. Randy, you find what the blade is? Look it up for us real quick before you carry on, because we let the congregation know. We the truth in the booth.
A place where prostitutes stand or walk waiting to get picked up.
That could be anywhere, though.
It could be, I mean, bus stops, transit stations. The blade. Never in my life have I heard it called that.
It's because you're not from Memphis. That's why.
No, I guess not. Looking for thoughts. There's never a dry day on the blade.
Go ahead, Randy. Go ahead, Randy. Go.
Nickname for George W. Bush. The blade.
Go ahead, Randy. Go ahead.
Oh.
Are we supposed to be talking about reptiles?
I mean, we
Not
were
this-
there. We can
Not
circle
this,
back.
not this weird
ahead, Randy.
situation where Keno thinks that I was raised
Go
by
ahead,
pimps.
Randy. Go ahead, Randy.
So, like we were saying, back to the snake talk. Pretty much a lot of people ask me, like, what I do differently for the species. Do I cycle? All that stuff. And I just make it easy for myself, man.
So I do got a question about it because you got all these different species in the same room.
Yeah.
How do you deal with that?
But I let the natural
Fuck you, Kino.
room temperature. Kino can't stop, man. He's gonna be giggling about the blade all night long. He visualizes it right now.
No, first thing in the morning, I have my conversation with Kino. And this will be the topic of our 30-minute conversation in the morning. Fucking asshole.
Well, I just learned something new, so I didn't know it was called the blade. It's new.
I haven't said anything. I'm just actually ready to proceed.
You know. But for cycling the room, what I do is I let it cycle itself, right? We have 4 seasons up here in Washington State. I just let the room cycle. My room is outside of my house. It's like a shed that's attached to my covered porch. And it's like, I would say 10 foot by 8 foot or something like that. So maybe a little bit smaller. And it just has all my snakes in there. It's fully insulated, has a window, has a full light door in the front, and then it has a small cadet heater in it that keeps it. I like to keep my room about like 77 degrees. But that temperature, even though I set it there, it will fluctuate, right? Because then I got to turn that temperature dial up a little bit when it gets cooler in the room or outside of the room. And then I can turn it completely off in the summer. So I have a temperature gauge in my room that kind of tells me, and then I just kind of mark 2 lines. And when I see it drop below like 75, that's telling me the room is starting to cycle. And then when I see it at 80 or 85, that's as high as I've ever seen it get in there. That's also telling me where I am in the cycle as well. People make it really hard. But most of us have seasons outside. Just work with them. You know what I mean? Like if you live in the Northwest or the Northeast, it's going to be the easiest to kind of do that. You know, sometimes in the South or the Southeast, it's not as easy because you guys don't get as many true seasons. But you guys will. Like even in Texas, you guys will get cold in the wintertime.
Yeah, but you know, like as far as it's like a breeding window,
like
it's
smaller.
Pat says he's hatched them at every, month of the year. Mm-hmm. And I think that's just because,
but he simulates that, right?
So
I'm saying I'm not personally cycling anything. I'm just letting the room do that.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying is like it might be easier here to like just go fully into simulation because the temperature is stable, meaning hot as fuck. So, there's so many ways to do this. I just think that you got to find out what works for you. I can hear y'all, but I got to go read something. So y'all keep going. So
okay. So, so with the Dominicans, it was another thing. Like, you guys are in the Chondro community. You might know Sandro DePinto.
Sandro, old school name.
Yeah, but him and I don't really see eye to eye. So it was one of those things where he was like, him and I actually were friends back in the day. He was one of the first people that came up to me when I was vending expos, and he was congratulating me for producing green tree pythons and stuff like that. Nick Mutton was another one, and Ryan Young, Mark Goyer. Those are all the guys that are in Northwest. So I was able to kind of meet some of those OGs back in the day. But Sandro, he kind of got under my skin because he thought that he was just the god. No one else could do anything as good as Sandro. No one can breed anything. If it was, Randy, you can't breed these Dominicans. They're too hard. Oh, I got blackheads. They're too hard. So it just made me like, yes, I can. So I started looking at these other species that he was saying were too hard for me. And then I really started falling in love with the Dominicans. Like, man, these things are freaking cool. So he kind of pushed me into like even starting to be interested in them. And when I got them, you can't breed Dominicans like younger than like 6 years old, like the females. At least I haven't heard of anyone doing it. So mine were 2015s, and their first season to actually produce was last year. So, and it's a long waiting game for them. It's like 140 days post ovulation shed to get those babies dropped.
That always brought. I always had a question about that. Do you think,
Mm-hmm.
because they say the same thing about emeralds, like they have to be a little bit older? Do you think that the females have to be a little older, more mature because they have to carry the babies more so than lay eggs?
I mean, I would say yes, but at the same time, like Amazons, and it might just like I've talked to Nick Mutton and he's bred Amazons at 3 years old. I've talked to other guys, they've bred Amazons at 2.5 years old, like females. Like I've only been successful breeding like 4-year-old females and like maybe a 3 or 4-year-old male. I've never had success breeding younger than that with Amazons either, but they can have babies young, and it's the same kind of scenario with them. They have to carry the babies full term, almost the same gestation period. So I don't really know. They're just
Yeah,
every
I'm
snake's a little
not.
bit different. But I mean, it makes sense, right? I mean, you think of it like this, like any boa, right, is most likely going to be an environment that's not as stable because it needs to constantly take care of those babies within inside itself. Whereas a snake that could lay eggs knows that its environment is suited well enough to take care of those eggs outside of their body. So, I mean, they all develop a little bit differently to carry and to carry for how long, right? I mean, there's probably boas that carry. I think boas can almost carry a like weight longer than like they're supposed to, and I think they wait for like a rain or something to help wash things away. But they can hold on to stuff for a long time. I had a friend in Germany. I think he's at like 168 days post ovulation shed or something like that, and that's like unheard of. So who knows? There's a lot of things that are unknown about these animals. I think that's what kind of draws most of us to them.
Okay. Well, um, you want to move on to the green trees because you're restarting with that.
I'm jumping around, man. I'm all over the place.
You know what you want to do?
Yeah, so with the green tree pythons, what I've done in the past is just waited for. I don't try to do anything individually for species, right? What I do for everyone pretty much is I let the room cycle itself. I I know when certain species are supposed to go, right? My pythons are usually like winter breeders. I know that my boas are going to be like more spring breeders. So that's kind of my season. It'll be like the first ones that would probably be interested would be my chondros, and then my Amazons, and then my Dominicans, or Dominicans and Amazons right about the same time. And so I put them together before that, right, just to see how they're going to do. I want to make sure that the pairing, like they're compatible with each other. Both animals are healthy. No one has any signs of respiratory infection. No mucus. No lethargism. No lethargic snakes. Nothing like
For
that.
sure.
They're eating well. They're having decent bowel movements. Like all that stuff is important. Like um, I tried to breed chondros a couple years ago, but the animals that I bought, like I just bought animals and sent them to other people on loan. And of course, those never work, right? You never see the animals come back. So, I kind of started off rough in that aspect, um, and then people trying to sell a whole bunch of males when, you need females too. But anyways, like
Yeah, I
here we
see. I
are.
saw that. I saw that. For a random second, I saw that. To address that real quick.
What happened?
Uh, that person's thoughts don't. He don't speak on behalf of the show or none of this shit. That's that person's own opinion. So
What? I didn't even see it.
They
Did
gonna
you
keep
delete it
going.
already?
About it.
Nah, it ain't nothing
We'll
deleted.
talk about it. It ain't.
We'll address it too on IG.
Yeah, we'll address it on IG. We'll get to it.
But
That
anyways,
person don't speak on behalf of us.
Yeah. You guys keep going for a second. I'm gonna go check something out. Y'all keep going.
Go ahead, Randy.
like I was saying, I just use the natural rhythm of the room. I don't try to do anything difficult. I don't try to make it hard. Put the snakes together when I think they're ready. When I see a female look like she's swelling, to palpate her, see if she has any follicles in there. I don't do anything crazy, man. And then when I do pair them up and I see locks, I just write the lock down when it happened, and then I wait for an ovulation, right? A lot of times, like, people will use tricks to kind of get their animals to ovulate, and feeding meals to a female after they bred with a male, separate them, obviously, and maybe meals more often or big meals could kick them into an ovulation, and that's with most species, boas included. So that's pretty much how I look at it. I'm like, okay, well, I want to get this female to ovulate. I know that in my mind, I know everyone has their way of doing it. I think the males, it's most important for them to have that drop in temperature for spermatogenesis. And then I think for the females, it's most important for them to reach a certain number of calories for them to ovulate. So, I mean, that being said, it's kind of worked for me with multiple species. I just push the females for food, and then I make sure the males get a little bit cooler. And then I put them together. And then after I see an ovulation, then I will bump the heat up in the cage that the female is in. And sometimes that's as simple as just taking out the LED light bulb that's in the light shroud, because I have like 3x2x2s or 2x2s. And I just have little light shrouds in there. So I would take the LED bulb out, and then I just put the 30 watt or 25 watt incandescent bulb in there. And people are like, well, what are your temps and all that? Like, I don't even know. I just know that when the female wakes up in the morning, or when I wake up in the morning and I go check them, she's right there ready to bask, right under that heat spot. And then at the end of the night, she's moving away from it. And you see this pattern day and night, moving back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, So they're regulating themselves. As long as you can at least let them reach a higher desired temperature than a standard 80 degrees. So I think they probably want to reach something closer to like 86, something like that. But they'll be fine with that. I mean, you don't need to cook them at 90 degrees or anything like that. But I mean, if they're right up underneath that heat spot, it probably is 89 degrees right there, And I do have a temp gun. I'm kind of old school. I just put it in there and everything looks good. Make sure that the ambient temperature in both the cage and my room doesn't exceed something that they can't escape from that heat and still be comfortable, So I like to keep the ambience in the cage around 80 or lower, or 82 or lower is what I will say.
82 or lower.
Yeah. I like to make sure that the ambience in the cage, all my cages have heat on them, but they're dialed so low that they'll only turn on if the temperature drops too low in the room. So I'll have them all set to about 84 degrees so that they're barely ever on, right? Because my room is set to 77, but the outside temperatures will really affect what happens on the room. And then I just go look through the cages, and but I'm such a observant keeper that if I see a snake in a different spot than it normally is, I take note of that. If a snake is in the front of the enclosure or always in the back of the enclosure, you take note of that. Just little things like that you want to just be observant about so that you can make those tweaks, and not have to make a big deal about it. Like, okay, why are all my baby snakes at the front of the tub? Maybe the temperature is just a little bit too high, so just turn it down a little bit and then see what happens. You should get a good mix, those kind of things. It's just being a student of the serpent, as Eugene Bissett says.
Yeah.
But yeah, with the chondros, and just get the eggs and throw them in the incubator and kind of hope for the best and pray and do all that shit. Because the first clutch I had was it was kind of like that beginner's luck. Like I had 17 perfect eggs, no slugs, and 11 of the eggs. No, one of the eggs went bad. I'm trying to remember. One of the eggs went bad. All of them hatched, and then 6 died as soon as they stuck their heads out of the egg. Just 6 of them just gone.
Damn.
What the fuck?
Yeah. And so, I mean, that's a big learning curve too, because you're like, well, wait a second, like, what the fuck? Like, we got all the way here. What happened? But
Right.
then I was talking to people and they're like, dude, you still have 10, like, that's not bad, And then the next clutch I had was almost identical. The second and third clutch was almost identical. It was 10 eggs, right? From a new female. And then the third clutch I had was a second clutch from the first female. So it was clutch 1, clutch 2, and clutch 3 from the first female. And there were 10 eggs and 6 survived on both. The third one, I think I lost more. I can't remember if I only ended up with 4 babies because something happened. I think I produced ones that were really like, there's one that was really dark maroon that I actually kept now, and his name is Dexter. But 2 of his siblings were nice dark maroon colored too, with like heavily yellow pattern on it, like you see for the Cyclops, right? Like you see that like that look. It was, I mean, they're uterensis, so in my eyes they're the same thing.
Yeah.
But I know you guys all separate stuff out. But
you just got bad ass, man. That's all. I don't judge you.
okay.
I still love you. But
Whatever
now,
you say,
did you see a difference? What was your difference that you saw between establishing your first clutch and then your second?
So the first clutch, like I said, it was kind of that beginner's luck. I didn't have that hard of a time, right? I just used red hot pinkies, and that cute gay Jason guy. He just said, make sure you have chicken down on deck. And I used that, and man, they flew, right? I didn't have any problems. That second clutch was a nightmare, trying to get them established.
You said it was the same female, but it was a different male.
This second clutch was the same male, different female. Third clutch was the same male and female from the first one. Okay.
So was the first clutch, those the first time breeders?
Yes.
And then were those animals both captive bred?
So from what I know, they were sold to me as animals from Dennis Flanders and Simon Tang. So, back in the day too, like people just lie, right? I mean, there's these guys up here in Tacoma, right? Which was kind of like the ghetto over here. Like we just called them Matt and Zach. They were the boa guys, but you go to their house, it was a trap house. You know what I mean? Like they got
in my trap house.
Yeah, they didn't live in this house. It was just they had dogs in the backyard and they had boas in the front living room, and they had weed growing in the back bedrooms. So they didn't let a lot of people go over there, but they let me come in, and they were just like, yeah, we have these green trees, but this is not really our thing. Our thing's the boas, so we'll just let them go to you for this. And those were like, that was my breeder male that I got from them. His name was Diablo, and man, he would breed anything. And I think it really comes down to that, because I don't have a really strong male now, and it makes a difference for sure. Like just having one male that will breed everything and have viable sperm, because I do have a male that would breed everything. He just hasn't produced anything yet, and that's actually Diablo's son. So,
then the second clutch was from a what? Was that like an imported female?
Yes. Yeah. So she was definitely imported. The second one for sure. She was sold to me as a Jayapura. Both the females that I had were Jayapuras. The male was sold to me as a Wamina. So, Wamina Jayapura cross, still the same species, still, uterensis. And so I have that male left because after I got out of the hobby, I just sold everything off, right? 2013 or 14, I just sold everything. I went into fish kind of hardcore at that time. I was just tired of people telling me like snakes are gross. What are you doing? You're having a ton of kids. You can't do this, and I was like feeding into it and kind of listening. And then eventually like my wife was like, do you want a snake for your birthday? And I was like, you know what? Shit, I'll take a snake, and that just fed me from there. Like that, she helped me get back into it. And then, with her support, that's all I needed to just fly. So,
man, that's so sweet. Clap it up for Haley.
Yep.
Yeah.
Clap it up
shout out to the wives. Shout out to the wives and the ladies.
For sure, man. I mean, she holds it down.
Who deal with that shit too.
She's dealing with the kids at home right now while I'm here at work, just chilling. Just having a good time with y'all.
Mine is downstairs dealing with my daughter, who's pretty cool, and then my son, who is a fucking maniac.
Yeah, my son. See, it's the opposite for me. My son, pretty chill. My daughter, my oldest daughter, she's tough. That's it. She's tough.
I know where my son got all of his genes from. All of them.
Yep. You was rowdy too?
I was hella rowdy, man. I was.
To be honest, man,
I don't think I balanced out to like I went to college and I was just like, oh, I can go to jail for this shit now.
Yeah. To be honest, the rowdy boys.
His son, like I think he already started slapping people too. That's crazy.
To be honest, like
everybody's son is slapping people.
No, backhand. He's doing backhand.
Not everyone's slapping people.
That is a
that's not normal.
Martial arts.
You were trying to normalize backhand. No, okay. All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Doesn't everyone's son
like
slap people?
Pimpin',
like no.
Like the pimping thing. I ain't gonna say nothing.
Like, doesn't everyone have an uncle that's a pimp in Memphis? Like,
right, exactly. That's a pastor too.
Listen, yo pimp uncle don't have to be in Memphis, but you got somebody in your family that doing some shit with the prostitutes for money.
Sure.
In some
Not
way.
in my family, but in yours, that's fine.
On the blade.
Somebody.
on the blade.
It's somebody.
You're right, though.
I
don't really know my real dad, so it's possible. His side of the family.
And first of all, I'm adopted anyway, so like my family, we don't share the same genes anyway.
There you go.
Yeah, so Keno, shut the fuck up, man. That's not my real. I don't have them genes. I don't have no pimp genes. You better chill out.
Okay.
Whatever you say.
Exactly. Whatever you say. I hope that speech made you feel better about yourself.
A little bit.
Cool.
Listen, my son don't have no
a lot
perm.
of explaining, my brother.
My son don't have no perm. He don't have no gators. Don't wish that on my son.
Exactly. Yeah.
No.
Your son is light skinned. He's gonna have some pearls. I'm sorry.
Have you seen my son?
He's light skinned, isn't he?
He gonna be.
That's
light
how my hair was
like,
when I was a kid too.
He gonna be light talking, like Trav. And Trav when he be like, well, you gotta do so and so. Yeah, all that swaying and shit when they talk. It's gonna come. You grow into pimping. Watch about 13, 14. Watch what happens.
Listen, man. Keto made me feel self-conscious about wearing wife beaters. Because he says people from Memphis be hitting women. So I can't wear wife beaters in public anymore.
First off, you're not about to make me
they're undershirts. You know what I mean? It's
you're not about to make me be the villain to be everything, dog. No. You got on here with no glasses on, your dress is hanging down in a white beater. And I was like, dog, are you gonna go on a show like this? That's all I said. We was in the pre-show, and I was like, Trav,
Like you're about
it
to
was like
walk
3
on
minutes.
Maury or something, you know?
In 3 minutes before the show, I was like, Trav, like, you want to do the show like that, Trav?
Like he knows they're his kids, you know? Walking around a
Hey,
white
man.
beater like that.
Hey man, I never denied my kids. I can see all of me and my kids.
No, me too. I got 5 of them,
Yeah.
man. So you
Y'all don't know what going on
See
behind
that-
the scenes with Travis, man.
Damn it.
Travis is a man unhinged.
But to be honest, man, boys,
Pimp.
they can be
Pimp.
rowdy.
What
as
behind the scenes shit
and
are you?
tough,
What
but
are you talking
boys
about?
is easy compared to girls that are like super emotional. Like really emotional girls are tough, man. If you don't have one of those, like my youngest daughter, she's pretty easy.
Oh yeah.
But my oldest daughter, she's like emotional breakdown, no matter what it is horrible. She's gonna be like a CEO or something when she gets older. I just have to survive raising her first. She don't take no shit from no one.
I think that Chuck's youngest daughter is going to be a CIA agent.
Well, his wife is pretty close to
I
it.
definitely think Chuck's youngest daughter is going to work for the CIA or something like that.
Hey, y'all talking about? We used to bully Chuck. No, Chuck's wife used to bully Chuck.
Yeah, she's the ultimate bully.
If we're gonna keep it a buck, wife Chuck.
I mean,
Chuck's wife.
those are the good days though. When Haley and Jill were in the comments, I told them that too. I was like, "You guys need to come back, make this shit fun." I was like, "We have a good time on here, but it's so serious all the time now, you know."
It's like,
going
wild. Oh
it's
no,
good,
we definitely.
good.
No, it's not serious. I mean,
a lot of times, it compared to the original IG stuff, it's more mellow.
What you mean? Because
you know what? I'll give you that.
It is.
It probably is,
I mean,
but like we still.
It's for the better of the channel.
This
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you got
Trav got G rated. Trav got G rated on us.
No, but you know, like you guys still like make it light and have a good time, but you guys really want to, like, when you get people on that are serious guests, you want to make sure you pull some of that knowledge out of them, you know.
Yeah, for sure.
Absolutely.
Don't take
because at first, leave that man alone.
Come on, no, you say you want to bring some most life to the show. Come on, take the hat off.
All right.
Don't let him do that.
Just kidding.
You want to see it, man. You want to see what that George Jefferson do.
Hey, man. I've seen it, man. He can rock a baldy, bro.
I bick it, man. Like, that's the thing is, like, me and my brother, we both have bald heads, and we're just like big dudes with bald heads. People don't really fuck with it. So
let's see.
There's a lot of girls all the time that say, "Oh my God, he's bald. I would never." And it's like, okay, they probably have.
Yeah, they probably they probably needed money. That's why. Because they needed money.
Well, I mean, they do say that the bald head is a sign of high testosterone levels too.
Coming from a pimp.
Yeah.
Hey man, you better chill out, bro.
Y'all gotta figure out when he drops.
Right?
I can't say shit. Everything I say is gonna be related to some pimping shit. You know what's crazy?
It's in your blood. It's in your blood.
You know what the craziest part is? I sent Keno one video, and Keno watched like 20 fucking pimp videos. After that is true. That's not
about his same family member. About that same family member.
Brother,
that's not my family member.
The uncle.
Four out of 6 stories I watched, all the pimps had dreadlocks.
So you know they're related.
I mean,
that's how it works, right? I mean, that's literally how it works, right?
You sound like a police officer. That sounds like some shit Chef would say.
Three out of the 6 was from Memphis.
Oh shit!
You said 3 out of the 6 were from Memphis. Which ones are from Memphis?
Big Memphis. I mean, obviously,
Big Memphis.
G Gov. Come on, man. You already know, man. You know.
Okay, so what about the ones from Chicago, though?
There's some from Chicago too.
Exactly. So why can't Keno be a pimp too as well? He can be a descendant of pimps.
But I'm not though. You are.
That's not true.
My
My
God.
father wasn't. My father wasn't a pimp. My grandfather wasn't a pimp.
Okay.
And first of all, to be honest with you, the uncle that may be a pimp was like married into the family when I was like 20 something years old. So like,
Okay. So that's an excuse. Okay.
it is an excuse. You're not gonna fucking do this shit where I'm just raised by pimps like that, like Richard Pryor or some shit.
Okay. You right. My bad. My bad, player.
The Ball Brigade.
My bad, player.
He's not gonna stop this. When I go to when I wake up in the morning, it's probably gonna be some type of roast video of me as a pimp. There's later on in the day, there's gonna be more videos of pimps.
And don't
I
worry,
don't do it.
Kino. I'll send you my bald head video too, so you can get that one.
But don't send me the
You
one
can
with
do
the
with it
shirt.
whatever you need to.
Don't send me the
It's
shirtless
yours.
one
I
though.
will send it to you. You can have it.
I don't want. I don't want the
yours.
shirtless one. I don't want the
Well,
shirtless
it's
one.
like a combination. You know what I mean? Like you can't have one without the other.
Yeah.
You got the hair
Mm.
too. You know.
I'm gonna reconsider. Give me a week to think on it.
We'll see. I'll just send it, and then you can leave it in the inbox. You can just marinate on it.
Nah.
You say that he could figure out if he wants to open it or not.
Yeah.
Send it to me on Facebook.
We'll see which video I accidentally send you to.
Never mind.
Never mind. Like, I just want to prove that I'm half black. You know.
See,
We believe.
I don't.
You don't gotta
I
prove
believe
it.
you. I never. Wait, dog. Wait. Hold on, man.
Wait. What?
I don't want the Haley videos, bro.
Nah, I don't make Haley videos.
Oh.
You'll get them of me.
No, I'm talking about the videos that you sent her on lunch.
Randy's
Don't just do
casting
it.
couch videos.
Yep. Laid up. Hairy as shit. Bald head.
Randy, look, I love you, dog, but if I'm gonna have to block you, bro. I'm gonna have
It's
to.
all good, man. It's all
I'm gonna have
good.
to block you. I
It's
still
just
love you,
love.
though.
It's
Man.
2023, man. Don't worry.
No,
about it.
I
It's
still
good, man. You can still be married and have like a good life.
What does that mean? What does that mean?
No. It's not how it works. It's not how it works, Randy.
Oh my god.
Everybody don't do the. Everybody don't. I understand that 23 is
upside down pineapple activities.
I understand that, like
That's
that's
Chuck.
involved.
He
That's
said
involved. But I don't do that type. Shout out to y'all that do. The Aquarius people.
The Aquarius people.
Aquarius.
But yeah, man. Kino, you my dog, even though you talk this pimp shit.
Yeah. I'm gonna send you that bald head picture though.
Bro, you know how far this is going? Is Michael Majoros called me Slick Charles last week, and I was just like, this motherfucker. But I know where he got it from.
Why? I mean,
Kino's creative.
Chuck, what are you doing, Chuck? See, Chuck you always gotta do it.
You don't gotta keep it gay. It doesn't have to be gay if he's looking at my bald head and chest. That's not gay, right? It's just one of the other letters.
What does that mean?
I don't know.
It's Aquarius.
It's Aquarius.
Is he talking about like Brokeback Mountain?
I don't know what Chuck talking about. Chuck got an imagination that
off
is
in the mountains riding horses and camping. Like that sounds fun. Like sign me up. You know, like what are you talking about? You don't like camping or horses or mountains? Love all that.
I feel like Tuck writes like romance novels on his off time. Like I really feel like it. Like romance novels for men that don't get no ass.
No, I think they get ass. They're very colorful novels.
Man, the novels that Haley be reading is intense. Like, what the fuck? If I were watching some of the
Bruh.
shit that she reads, you know, I'm like, oh my
Bro,
god,
you
I
gotta-
feel like the
nah,
feds
bro,
would be
you
knocking
gotta-
on my door.
You got to get the Zane books, man.
The what?
Shout out to the Zane books. If you're an OG and you've been around long enough, you know about the Zane books.
Do you know about this, Travis?
I don't know anything about this.
Haley,
Anybody
do you know
in
what
the
a
comments-
Zane book is?
It's not in my pimp Rolodex.
Z-A-N-E, Zane.
What's it? What are these books about? It's like Harry Potter or some
Salamander said
shit.
it's only gay if you make
It's-
eye contact.
It's definitely not Harry Potter.
They make new rules up all the time.
Come on now, so y'all tell me. You
No
gonna
eye
tell me,
contact. It's good.
ain't nobody in the comments. If y'all watching this a couple days later, please comment if y'all have read a Zane book, because I'm appalled. Ain't nobody in this. Y'all all around our age, ain't nobody in this thing ever read a Zane book.
I don't even
Nah.
like reading books that don't have reptiles in them. You know what I mean?
Man, y'all wild, man. You was reading reptile books in high
didn't
school
like-
too,
No, well, yeah, I was.
man.
But they
look,
weren't-
dog. Before I
That's
was
how
reading
you know
reptile
Keno
books,
is old. Keno reads
man,
his
before I was
porno.
reading,
That's how you know he's old.
bro, you gotta look. All I'm saying is this: the Zane books, they taught a young brother a lot of things.
Wow. I just
Powerful
watched that
thing.
old lady at night, the like sex talk with that 86-year-old lady that would stroke a dildo for you. Travis knows what I'm talking about.
Oh, she just died.
I do know what you're
recently.
talking about.
Rest in peace to her.
What was
The
her
old
show
lady.
called? Like Sex
The old
Talk or
lady.
something?
Yeah, with I forgot what her name is, but she would
She was a
Dr.
pro. I mean, she was a pro, real pro.
It was like Dr. Ruth or something.
Yeah. Yes.
the old
Yeah,
lady.
That's how
the
I
old
learned my
wrinkle lady.
sex talk at late at night, you know.
No,
I think
man,
Mikey
you
Marsh
gotta-
reads the same stuff that you read, Keno. He reads short love / passion stories.
Who? Mikey Marsh? Nah.
Yeah.
Zane is short love passion stories. No, Zane was all about. It wasn't love. It was
Keno's trying to backtrack. It was like
it was
love
fucking.
stories and fantasy and fairies.
No,
There's lots of
it was-
rainbows and unicorns in these
No.
books.
Yeah, exactly.
They weren't children's books, and he loved them. You know.
We're
But-
never gonna get monetized.
Nah, you're not.
It's never happening. He's gonna give us. Are you gonna give us a definition of Zane stories or synopsis?
Yeah, look it up.
Cool. We're gonna drop a couple.
Oh my
Titles in the
God,
comments.
Haley.
Oh man, this show has definitely been off the rails.
That's how they all go. That's how they're supposed to go. It's the Chondro Bar Room. This bar room, you know, like what bar do you go to that you just talk about work or whatever, you know? Like
Exactly.
everything
That's
goes
what I'm
off the
saying.
rails, you know?
It should be.
That's true.
You know,
Yeah.
That's
we
true.
grown ups.
Like we're all having a good time. Who gives a shit?
grown
If someone
up.
has a question, we'll answer it. If not, we
Somebody
talk
was
about
talking about
boobs and
balloon-
shit. Boobs
Somebody
and
was talking about
boogers.
balloon. Somebody was talking about balloon knots one night.
Yeah, yeah, we love those.
I don't
Fresh
know
out
what
the
that is,
shower, little balloon knot kisses. Right, Keno? We're grown.
No, I never had lockjaw.
Wow, missing out.
Mm.
You don't even know what life is about until you kiss a balloon knot. Fresh out
Just
the shower.
lockjaw. So you get
Yeah,
E. coli.
Never had lockjaw. Maybe I might have an E. coli. maybe Pseudomonas.
Do you ever like swab? Do you swab the balloon knot with like rubbing alcohol or something?
I don't
trigger
swab
monas.
a balloon knot. You just, it's fresh out the shower. You finger check. You go for it.
You put your finger in there.
You know,
That's
write
crazy.
it down. Write it down.
Okay. So I'm gonna take notes. I'm gonna take notes. All right, come on. Give me some more, Randy. Come on. Give me some more. What's next? What do we do next?
Do you do like a?
You do a finger
do a
test. Say
paper-
you do the finger test.
Well, finger
Say you do the
test.
finger test, and then
Little
what
kissy
happens if-
kiss.
Tell me
Do
the
you
difference
do
between a good. Tell me the difference between a good finger check and a bad one.
do you do a paper test to check for leakage?
a bad a bad finger check?
Yes.
Never had
Please.
one. Never had a bad finger check. It's always green light for me, buddy.
I feel like that's just
So
that's
what
just
is the purpose of the
protocol
finger check then?
of all
What's the
time.
purpose of the finger check? If
Just
it's
to get
always
me
green
extra
light.
going, just to get it going. You know what I mean?
Mm,
Just
okay,
to get a little endorphins going.
okay.
You know, just you know what I mean?
You a nasty motherfucker.
Stop acting like you motherfuckers don't do some nasty shit. Like,
Nah, not me. I'm a
know
Baptist.
yeah, I know. Yeah, Travis. Mhm.
I'm a Southern Baptist man. I don't do anything like that.
Shit. How you think his eye got like that?
That's not how my eye got like that. Yo, I feel like when I die, like Keto's gonna tell kids this, like, you know how Uncle Travis's eye really got like that. Well, let me tell you the story. It's gonna be the first thing.
Somebody put it in his face.
I'm gonna be the
Put it in his
subject.
eye. Got
I'm gonna
pink
be the
eye.
subject of Keno's campfire stories. I already know it.
There's a lot there. There's a lot of meat on that bone, man.
Oh, Tuck said he'll never share a blunt with Randy.
Yes, you will, Tuck. Yes, you will. You see my wife. Fuck it.
That's wild.
He will share a blunt with
Randy is a Randy is a
That's
nasty
crazy.
motherfucker.
You know what I mean?
So what
Yeah,
I'm gonna do,
real
Randy,
nasty,
is
Randy.
what I'm gonna do, Randy, is I'm gonna
The
do
girls
a
like the nasty guys. I just want to tell you guys that when you're gonna be
So-
like, I don't want to do that. I want to be a nice guy. Like, what girls like the fucking nice, clean cut, square guys? They don't.
No, I know
They
what you're
want the
saying. I
bad
know
guys
exactly
that
what
eat
you're
booty
saying.
hole.
Yeah.
How many girls in this comment? It's on just Haley, probably.
Nah,
like,
man.
right.
Oh, you saying this? You gotta impress the wife. All right,
That's just
you gotta impress the wife. Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead. You can go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead. How many
Type
what?
1 for liking booty hole. Tuck, don't type 1, please. God damn it. It's for the girls. And there's only Haley in this shit, so of course she's
Right.
gonna
Do
say
you ever
yes.
feel like you got to use like a dental dam or like saran wrap when you do it? When you do the
I feel
the
like
How
root
often
knot
you-
stuff?
No, I feel
How
like
many
a fucking
times a year
animal.
How many times a year do you see the dentist, Randy?
Twice.
Is
They're
that
not happy with me, but
Is
you know.
that like pre-salad era or post-salad?
Post salad. Yep.
Do you ever feel that like maybe it's like since like now more you getting more cell activity that you may need to like double that sometimes?
No, my immune system's like probably better than yours because of it.
But I'm talking about, I agree with that because you got more experience. But I'm talking about like the teeth wise, like decaying teeth, or
My teeth
you
are
know,
stronger too because of
like
it.
tonsillitis or
There's
any
extra
type of
vitamins in my gums, you know. Straight to the gums.
What vitamins are you getting from the salads?
Vitamin
vitamins.
Dookie.
B vitamins.
Bowel movement vitamins. Cool.
What?
Ain't nothing wrong with
A
that.
vitamins.
Ain't nothing wrong with that. I don't judge nobody. So
Probably vitamin C in there somewhere.
cool.
You know.
I mean, look, you got to keep it around somehow.
Gotta do what you gotta do.
You did with spoon.
And Tuck, I'm gonna give you E. coli. I'm gonna roll up a fat ass blunt and smoke it right next to you, and I'll be damned if you say no.
Are you trying with a
Have
spoon?
you seen
Randy?
how sickly
light
Tuck
it
looks?
first. I'll just light it
Tuck
first.
might not
you know what I mean?
survive E. coli, bro. Tuck looks sickly as hell, bro.
That's true.
So every 6 months. Okay. Are you try with a spoon, Randy?
No, I'm not Chuck. I just use my tongue, man.
You ever flavor it?
Caramel
You guys are
drizzle.
real curious about this. You guys
I
never
mean,
eat booty hole? What the
look,
fuck?
What you just
the
said.
show's already off the rails.
You just said
They're like, so
Randy,
you eat booty hole, okay?
Randy, you just said when we get somebody
Yes, I
on, when we get somebody on, they got a lot of experience. We just be real serious and try to get as much knowledge from as we can.
You squeeze it
What
out
I'm
of me?
doing is I'm always a person that I feel like I try to learn something new every day, and I'm getting a master class right here on salad. Like, how do you
Just
mentally
Adam
prepare
salad.
yourself, and physically?
Let me just lay
How
this
do you
down.
how do you physically prepare your mouth for the session? Is there any like pre-salad workout activities you do, like loosen up the jaw, dislocate the jaw?
No need, baby. Natural.
Okay.
Natural.
You know, green trees kind of do that when they feed.
Yeah, not that exaggerated, but you know,
Yeah.
you gotta do what you gotta do.
Cool.
It's like a
All right.
combination lock, you know. You can hit them with a little bit of everything, open it eventually. Sometimes you get frustrated and you just beat that motherfucker off the chain.
Okay.
Okay, my bad.
Cool. I'm listening.
So, it
Well,
is what it
lockjaw
is.
is a real thing, Justin. I don't think they understand that, but Randy said he's immune to lockjaw.
Yep, immunities. Next question.
Okay. Have you switched up the flavors?
This depends on what she's got going on that day before. You know what I mean?
You ever pour like a Kool-Aid packet on it to
No
change the
need,
colors?
man. I'm an
Yeah.
old natural.
Okay. So you like after what really makes the get going, like the body scrub or just like the regular body wash?
Okay. Let me put it this way.
Okay.
When your woman step out the shower and those
Yeah.
booty cheeks just look like a snack,
Mm-hmm.
you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Proceed.
Have you ever did this like straight from work when she's straight from the work, straight in the door?
No.
Why not?
You didn't want to marinate it?
Why would you do that?
I
mean, have you ever nut checked yourself?
Are you a person?
Check
So you
after working all day, put your hands down on your nuts and sniff it.
So I'm saying,
if you don't
telling
like
me,
that, your girl's gonna have something similar going on.
So before you put the meat on the grill, you don't season it?
Season it while it's on the grill.
Either way, it's getting seasoned, right?
I mean,
it's getting seasoned before it's eaten.
You pour a little seasoning salt on, a little Tony Satcher.
You gotta see. You gotta start thinking. You gotta start thinking about sweat as olive oil. You know what I'm saying? Season it up a little bit.
See, I need to start taking notes now too. Shit.
A little parsley.
No,
I probably do. Kino.
You know?
Garlic salt. You pour a little garlic salt on it.
I prefer coconut oil.
Garlic salt.
I prefer coconut oil. Coconut oil get real
Johnny's,
slippery.
man. There's some Laurie's.
Coconut oil get it real slippery.
Coconut oil, yeah, it's all right. It's that pure
PUR.
That's the good shit. That's the good shit.
Okay.
That's the shit all the pros use too.
When you're in a pinch, you can use Crisco.
Oh, girl. Okay.
Fish grease.
Nice. That would probably be a horrible cleanup, but okay. What do you have to use? Dawn dish soap to get it out of there?
It depends. It depends on what. It depends
Clumping
on what
all
you're doing.
up and shit. Like, goddamn, is that lard?
You gotta. You put it in the hands and it started warming up. It's like coconut oil.
See, you guys just wanted to record me because you knew it was going to get nasty like this. Like, I'll just get Randy on here. He'll talk about buttholes as soon as he's done talking about snakes. I would just get that out of the way.
Well, we didn't know Ratchet Randy was going to pull up tonight.
Yes, you did.
It's welcome, though.
You been listening to your Sexy Red CD all day? Or your Suki Hana? Eat niggas' ass.
No. And that's the thing, too. I don't want my asshole eaten. That's nasty.
Oh, no.
You only a receiver, huh? You only a giver. You don't receive.
I'm a giver.
Right.
Yep.
You're a balloon not tough.
Connoisseur.
Top. Yeah, I guess so. A giver of the
not all balloon knots are created equally. You know what I mean?
We don't know,
like
man.
It wasn't tied right. You know what I mean?
I think those are called hemorrhoids, bro. That's called hemorrhoids, bro.
Is it?
Yes, bro.
Oh, like someone doesn't know how to tie a knot.
So prolapse?
Huh?
The prolapse?
Nah, I'm just fucking around.
Wow.
That's crazy.
Mm,
No, it's crazy.
but shit, he do got 9 kids, so
Yeah,
shit.
he got a whole tribe.
That's how you know I'm half black. I got a big
I don't
old
think
family.
that's
I
what
can't
that
control.
means, bro.
It
I
might
only
mean
got
that.
two.
No, I think
Yeah,
that you.
it's part of it.
I
You know what I
think-
mean?
bro.
I
No,
think that.
no,
I think
it's part
I
of it.
think the salad thing is I
That's
get
part
a
of black.
big deal to do with that.
Nah,
No,
that's the
that's
white side. Maybe
I didn't say
Keno
that.
makes the rules here. You tell me, Keno. What's the truck
All
is
right,
on my white side, right?
Yeah,
the
yeah.
facts. The truck
Dad
is what's
hats,
up,
white side, right?
but yours is not completely bent though. It's not
Okay.
like I've seen like in
Mhm.
you. So I
With a
think you
fishing
good on
hook
that.
on it.
Mine's in between. I used to have flat bills all the time, but it's just not my thing anymore.
No, you good because some man's is curved. You good there, but I think that I definitely think the salad thing is it's a beige thing.
It's a beige thing.
It's definitely
There's a gray area there. You
it's
know,
like
we don't
no,
talk
it's like a
about it.
beige. It's definitely a beige trait. Like
Is it?
indulging of the salad. Yeah,
It's a light
it's like
skinned thing. Is what you're trying to say.
I don't know,
I
Is
man.
didn't
that
say
why
that.
we
I
get
said
so
it's a
much
beige.
play?
It could be,
Damn.
but I
It
mean,
could be. We're just willing to go that extra mile.
look. Sometimes you got to compromise your health for it. Then
What's a little
some
health?
people be willing
You
to.
know,
Some people
between
will.
friends.
Some people willing to die for it. You know, some people will pay for it. It just depends. But shout out to the light skinned brothers who are definitely out here catching E. coli beers and stuff. I think it's
Oh,
for the
shout out. What are
culture.
you talking about? I'm probably the only one in here that's light skinned and eats butt.
For the culture.
Yeah,
Period.
yeah, that's true. That
You
is
know, like,
true.
is there another light skinned dude in here at all?
No.
Marlon kind of light skinned.
It's like the South. It's either black or white. That's it.
Marlon kind of light skinned though, and I can almost guarantee that like he got like salad tendencies.
No, he's yours.
He's not dark. He's not dark enough to be honest.
I mean, he's
He
Haitian
is.
though, bro. I think he is ours, bro. He's Haitian.
Yeah, he is y'all's.
He's ours, bro.
Keno has some.
I think we gotta keep him.
I'm thinking.
I think we gotta keep him.
Who, Randy? Marlon?
Yeah, we gotta keep Marlon. Marlon is Haitian.
So Randy only half breed?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Jamaican, African, Norwegian, Irish.
Damn, man.
Mm.
I'm just a black dude.
Isn't he black? Any black dudes in Norwegian?
No. Black
No,
dudes?
not naturally. In Norway.
No, they're like big Vikings.
No, it's
White
called
guys.
Norwegian.
No, it's
Norway.
called Norway. It's called Norway.
It's called No Way.
Shout out to all the brothers in Norwegian and Norway. I mean,
But they think that's why I have a French last name is because I'm part Jamaican too.
all right, cool. That's what I'm talking about. Wagwan.
You speak patois a little bit?
No.
Oh, okay.
My nanny did though.
I bet she used to hit you a lot.
Yeah. Well, not me so much because we were like the younger ones, you know, before she passed. But my older half brother definitely. Yeah.
Yeah. I bet your parents co-signed that shit like, yeah, hit that motherfucker some
I would. Shit.
She probably knows the talent tendencies at a young age, man.
Yeah. It's in my
like,
DNA. I can't help it.
That's gonna be a good man right there.
I like to dance and I like to eat butt. You know, that's just.
When did you first notice that you like doing that?
It's probably like a 7th grade. I was just sitting there behind little Donna Lee. You know,
You was like wondering, like I wonder how it feel to have
her
my
butt
whole
was
face.
just hanging out the back of that little school chair. I was just wondering.
That sounds.
No. There's no Donna Lee, all right?
There's nothing wrong with that because when you're in 7th grade, you do imagine when the woman.
Oh, some weird shit.
It's natural
You
to
do.
imagine that from your classmates,
Mm-hmm.
but it's not natural to imagine like your face being a seat. That's weird.
No, I don't think I was imagining that.
But
It's
you
more of
said
a
around 7th
combination, man.
grade.
It's not like
7th grade is when you start the salad stuff.
I do it because I know it works for me. It
Right,
gives
yeah.
me, right, after you do that, they get off the first time, you can do whatever the fuck you want to do.
It's like a burst of energy for you when you taste
Mhm.
the excrements.
Whoa.
Okay.
No.
So I got a question. Are we gonna go back to snake talk, or we just go?
Yeah, we can go back
do
to
this?
snake talk. Where were we at? Were we even done?
I don't even remember. I don't
Like,
You was
even
gonna talk
remember.
about
I've bred
you was gonna talk
Dominicans,
about
I've bred ball pythons, I've bred green tree pythons.
you was
I'm
talking about
obsessed with Amazons.
the Amazons and the freak show and how well, it's a
Yeah.
perfect segue into the freak show.
So the next year, I'm gonna have some. I think Bloody Mary will be ready, and I have. She's a calico female from Ryan Young, and then I have high expression calico male from Rory Gresco.
Right.
I have a lot of females that are going to be ready for him. So 2024 and 2025 should be pretty good if everyone locks up like they're supposed to. So we'll see. Hellboy's in there too, and at least he's a proven breeder now. He just produced that litter for me that dropped a few days ago. Those
So
guys
talk
are all
about about that litter.
Mm-hmm. So the litter is a tiger, a Halloween tiger, right? Which a Halloween is what we call the garden type that has the orange dorsal markings that eventually fade as they get into adulthood.
Yeah, that's like the most common type, right?
Yep, the most common type. And then the tiger striping is actually the parallel striping down the length of the body of the snake. Right. Which to me, that word tiger never really made sense, but that's just what they call it. Danny Mendez is the one that coined the term tiger for the Amazon tree boas, and that is actually a dominant trait. So you can breed a tiger to a normal, and you should get half and half. But the male that I bred him to was a red tiger, so both parents were tigers. So I assumed the entire litter was going to be tigers because it was the two dominant pairings, and we assume now that although the garden and Halloween gene is the most common, it's most likely a recessive trait. It's probably like antithyristic or exanthic, and it's just really prevalent because they have a high succession rate in the wild with those colors. So, the yellow one, like, and people are like, well, what's a normal Amazon? And I think it's a yellow. So okay. I got some stuff going on. I have some dinker projects where I'm working with like yellow calico stuff. There's no such thing.
You think all Amazons are basically het for hets if they're not visually for
no. I think there are some genes I think that are like Mendelian genetics that you can actually say this is a simple recessive or this is incomplete dominant or a dominant trait. But I think most of the genes are actually polygenic. So they're going to vary depending on how many genes are stacked on each other.
Adam Salad, you are a nasty motherfucker. Go ahead, man.
What is it?
Just don't worry about it. Just go. Just go.
31 rings. God damn. God damn. Shit.
You are nasty. You was a nasty man.
But I mean,
you talk about salad, and he's salad mander, man.
He's the commander of the salad, so we should be asking him, taking notes from him, probably.
Okay. Round 2, we're gonna have a round table. We're gonna have a salad round table with y'all two leading it.
Probably get Chuck on that one then, because
expert tips.
That little motherfucker's gross too. So
I agree.
Yeah, I agree.
We agree. I agree. Get some experts on that.
But yeah,
All right, go ahead.
I want to have some of the highest expression calicos in the country. So, pretty much what I did is how you guys are doing it with chondros. You go to the best breeders around, but you also still have to separate yourself from those people and get some imports so that you could kind of make your own bloodlines as well.
Yeah.
But you don't want to necessarily copy what everyone's doing because, at least in the Amazon tree boa world, like there's not a ton of people. There's probably more people in the green tree python community that actually breed versus Amazons. There's a lot of Amazon keepers, but not all of them breed. And they're pretty easy to keep. They're pretty easy to breed. And it's nice to just not have to worry about eggs, just to come in there one day and just go, oh shit, like the other night I was about to go roll one up and I was like, oh fuck, I guess I'm up tonight, like shit, I got babies everywhere. So it's a cool sight to go in and see that. It was my first time actually seeing the baby, the mother give birth. That was fucking awesome.
Yeah. You caught it live.
Yeah, like seeing her contract. And we were waiting there, like I was like, let's go smoke. No, I got to see this first. And like she would contract back and forth. And then you would see like her stop for a while. And then her contractions would start again and it would start pushing down. And then she gave like birth to a slug and then a few more babies. And then so we went outside and we smoked and we came back and then she started eating the slug too. So I had to get that, on film too because that was fucking cool. Just to see them doing that. Because most of the time I go in there after the boas are all born already, you just see like a mess and the babies crawling around everywhere. They're Dominicans. The mom kind of like hides them away. So she'll tuck them back underneath a log or something like that, like cork hides. But the Amazons, man, you guys watch out because there's a few people out there that are doing them more big time than myself, Rory Gresco, Dayton Croydon. But I'll be right up there with them.
Justin had a question.
How do you pick out? Before we get to Justin question, my bad, Justin. But how do you go about picking out the imports that you want to outcross your captive bear chicks with?
Yeah, so my imports, it depends, right? If you have an import that you're looking at, I have imports that are just like normal. I know that they don't belong to any other bloodlines in the country. So when I produce something, if it's something that's an oddball, I can not only breed it back to the parents, right, to kind of start that line breeding, but then I can outcross to something completely unrelated. And that's why you really need imports in your collection if you're going to create your own bloodlines. Yeah. So you need to be able to outcross things away from that, and you could breed imports together and just pop out something super random too. People have done that a lot. I've done that with Amazons. So we're trying to figure it out. There's a couple handful of us guys that are working together with each other. I have a lot of friends overseas that are still doing it. Guys in Canada, Germany, a couple friends in Indonesia, and they're we all kind of just share experiences and try to nail down some of these genetics a little bit with the Amazon tree boas. But this is what I tell people. It's like if you were to take,
I bet you it's fun to hunt that shit down though.
It is, and because with chondros too, right? Like you get on a kick and you want to go look for a certain locality or a certain this or that or a phenotype or lineage, and you almost get addicted to the hunt too. You know?
I know.
Yeah. So that's addicting. And you get the snake and you're like, and then you want to do it again.
Like, oh shit! I didn't know that snake had this in it. Damn.
Yeah. And it's cool to go through that, and we're doing the same thing, trying to kind of copy the green tree python community when it comes to establishing pedigrees and bloodlines. And we name, at least I do. I name all my snakes so people know who they are. Like if you go to most people in the Amazon community, if you say, hey, have you heard of Freak Show or Bloody Mary? Most of them have.
Okay.
So
we had this question from Justin. He said, how do you feel about ATB and ETB hybrids?
I think they look good. My good buddy
I've never
John
seen
Martin.
one.
Yeah,
I've never seen one either.
my buddy John Martin. He's up in New Jersey, and he is one of the only guys that has produced them. Um, he did not have good luck with them. His were probably the most gorgeous looking ones I've ever seen. You know, if you see any like modeled yellow, orange, and red ones, like pictures circulating, most likely they're John's.
Okay.
He didn't have good luck with them after 3 years old. They pretty much all perished, and none of them would actually give him offspring. So he kind of wrote them off in that aspect. But right now, I know that there's hybrids out there. I know Warren Booth has at least one or two hybrids, and so does Dayton Croydon. They bought them from a person that just got an imported female in, and the imported female was gravid and gave birth, and they're like, what are these? And they were hybrids. So they either hybridized in the wild or they hybridized in the exporters collection before they came over here, but they hybridized. And so Dayton and Warren both have at least one each, and they seem like they're pretty good right now. They're coming up on probably 2.5, 3 years old here soon. So, I mean, hybrids, right? I mean, I'm not really a hybrid guy, but I mean, you guys doing chondros, you guys are all pretty much hybrid guys.
Yeah.
Regardless of, I mean, if you're a designer
Yeah,
guy,
in a
you're a
sense,
hybrid
yeah.
guy, right?
Yeah.
I mean, if you're taking
Yeah.
two subspecies,
Well, yeah, you
right?
are.
If you do that with carpet pythons, right? If you take an inland carpet, you breed it with a
Yeah,
Brettles,
man.
or you breed it
Yeah.
with a coastal, that's a hybrid. And you
Yeah.
can get crazy colors by doing that, but you're hybridizing the species, which is not a bad thing because actually you're actually creating more genetic vigor. But
Yeah.
then you just need to make sure that you're not, you know, you're just being honest with however you sell it and just disclosing that information to the buyer, you know, like
100%. Yeah.
and that's the only thing I have kind of against hybrids is a lot of people will say like it's this or that 100% when they know for a fact it's not, and then it just kind of muddies up the whole hobby, you know. But I don't have a problem with hybrids as long as they're just labels and such, and you know, people. I think people should. I want to see more. You know, I want to see people working with them. I have so many projects in mind, and I only have so much room, so that's kind of, you know, I got to kind of be conservative when it comes to some of those things. But the next species that I do want to work with is the Jamaican boas, though. So I do have to make some space for those eventually.
Okay. So I got another question for you, man. We didn't get to talk about this at all, but your new logo, man, and you got it on your shirt.
Yeah.
So what is the plan here going out for Stoic from here on out?
So
Yeah.
I didn't really want, like, I'm a co-owner for two different businesses right now, right? A construction company and a painting business. And it's a lot of work to run a business, man. And people don't realize that. And they look at these and they're like, I'm gonna start a snake business and it's gonna be great. And it's like, guys, instead of doing all that shit, like just enjoy your hobby. Right? Like a hobby business is fine as long as you're not actually turning a profit and you're putting more money back into the hobby, then it's not a business, man, you know?
Yeah.
But my CPA this year, pretty much I've been kind of whispering to him about what's going on. And he said probably after this year, I was like, you know, I don't want the IRS to like come knocking on my door. And he said, oh, no. The IRS is not going to come knocking on your door. It's the Department of Revenue. You're going to want to pay taxes soon. And if you don't, they will come knocking on your door. And so he's like, next year, let's look at doing that. So that's my goal is probably, you know, start of the year, January is when I actually want to have everything ready to go.
You see that? You see, if you do that, and if you don't have that, what's gonna happen is that black side gonna feel it. You're gonna catch that. You're gonna catch that Wesley Snipes. You're gonna catch that Wesley Snipes.
The problem.
The problem is the government looking at our bank accounts, right? So if we got transactions in there that are more than $600, which most of these snakes are $600 or more dollars, you know, like most of them are.
Randy Snipes, I'm telling you.
So I mean, what I do now is I try to do as many trades as possible, trades and then cash deals, and then I just take any money that I get online, PayPal or whatever, and I just put it back into the hobby. Because that's what it is. It's a hobby, like. And if the
Yeah.
Department of Revenue were to come to me and say, "Hey, I think you're actually turning a profit on this," I could show them that no, I've actually put more money into this than I've ever made, right? But they'd want to see that on paper, and so that's the part that I'm getting to now is I could use it as a source of income if I do it this way, but then I'm going to have to pay taxes, or I'm going to have to
Yeah.
make sure that I file for, a zero return or a negative return so I don't have to pay taxes. You could write the stuff off. So there's benefits, pros and cons. I mean,
Yeah.
like I'm taking my family down to Disneyland next weekend, and I paid for the whole trip with snake money, so it's nice to like do that little extra shit like that, but
Yeah.
you got to be careful too because the government's going to be watching us. So running a business is all fun and games until shit hits the fan. So
So they found out you had black.
yeah, pretty much.
Well, we've gone
They
over
be like,
time.
they be like, get his Jamaican there.
I can only trick them so long. They're like, wait, he's not one of us.
You see how much kids he got? Get him.
You know how many? Bet you that's not even his
You gotta
real
shave your
father.
beard. You gotta shave your beard. If you go in there clean shaven, you get away with it.
Yeah.
Someone like no facial hair at all.
No, when I have a beard,
Yeah.
it's you could tell that I got something going
Yeah.
on. It's real
but if you
thick. And it doesn't move around.
Like, what's your angle? What's your angle, boy?
Yeah.
But if you just got a like a thin mustache, you could say you Croatian or some shit.
I'm not gonna have no fucking mustache.
But like we've gone over time, so how much longer y'all want to do this?
Nah, it's just whatever, man. I'm just chilling. I'm gonna go home, smoke one, hit the sack, get ready for the gym in the morning.
Okay. All
Hey,
right.
shout out to that gym, man. That gym might be lovely, man.
Yeah, man. To
In
be
the mornings,
honest,
I
like
be loving that.
I'm so busy, man, all the time, but I had to find time for it. Not necessarily for my health, but I just have really bad anxiety, right? And that's the only thing that helps
So
me.
for your health, man,
Yeah,
you
I mean for my mental
burn
health
it
too.
off.
Yeah. Yep. So yeah, when I have a lot of
Man,
anxiety, I have to go to the gym.
Cash finally getting old enough to where he just sit there. I get like a good hour and a half. I'm like,
Yeah.
yes,
That's perfect.
yes. Just
But you take
that's
him.
it.
You take him to the gym and put him in a little daycare.
Nah, he sit right there and watch me.
Yeah. You don't need to go
He sit
anywhere.
right there and watch me, man. We got the music up and up blasting. Yeah.
Yeah. Just get your body moving, man. I mean, that's just sweat a little bit,
Yeah.
Like I try to do it first thing in the morning so I can kind of like get the hardest part of the day out of the way,
Yeah.
And the rest of the day, like although I run a business and I feel like every 30 feet I take, I run into another problem. But I've already kind of got the hard part out of the way so I can tackle pretty much anything that's thrown at me.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So.
gym really help it when you get away from the salad stuff and you get to the other stuff.
I'm staying with the salad stuff, man.
That's what he
I
likes.
mean, that's
bro.
cool. I know you
He-
like it.
he
You
likes-
probably like it with the wine vinaigrette on it. Ain't nothing wrong with that.
But I've been talking to Oso. I'm not going to do the Oso juice, but I might do some creatine.
I don't know
That's
what the
next.
Oso juice is, but you might have just told people too much.
Nah. I'm not talking about Oso actually doesn't do steroids, and people don't realize that he does.
He
not.
does. Yes, he do.
No, he don't.
Yes, he does. He does.
they're called,
him and the other Bill Hoff do.
It's testosterone.
Big Bill.
It's testosterone. It's not steroids.
That's what the same thing Marion Jones used to say.
Yeah.
Okay.
And Lolo Jones too.
Doping.
No, for me though. I don't have a need for that. Like I said, my testosterone level is already pretty high. So
You be saying Victor Conti.
Bald head, hairy chest. I'm good to go. Set.
That's all. That's all. The bald head is a side effect of steroids. Just like I'm just saying.
Yeah, and so it's like nasty skin and shit too, and I'm not into that. And small dick, I heard too, or small balls.
And
So-
Yeah, your
salad.
balls shrink. Your balls shrink and you get ED if you take steroids for too long.
And you eat ass. You start
Yeah.
eating ass more.
No, see, and the ED part scares the shit out of me. So I'd rather stay away from it and just go natural and be lean.
Bro, I was nervous about that shit too, dog. It was like, you can do this in baseball. I was like, dog, but I don't
But
want
you
that
can't
shit
get
to-
it
I
up.
don't-
Like,
I
what the
want that
fuck?
shit
All the girls are gonna want
affecting
you, but
my
you can't
face,
get them.
man. Straight up.
That
Yeah,
sounds like
it
a
was-
devil's
You like, wake up,
What was
devil's
that?
plan.
wake up, wake up.
You gotta strap a
What?
popsicle stick to it. Fuck it.
It was some bodybuilder a long time. It was a few years ago, and he was
Hit it
talking
with the
about
wet
like
noodle.
he was talking about like the effects of steroids. He was like the worst thing. He's like it's not really a bad thing because like I guess that Viagra was readily available to him, but
Yeah.
he said that most people on steroids like after a few years they got to get on ED meds.
Yep. No, I there's actually quite a few people in the snake community that are into like bodybuilding and stuff like that. So I talked to Nick Mutton a lot too about like, you know, he's tried to convince me like go to testosterone clinic, start doing that, and I'm like, I don't want to do all that shit, you know? Like I just if I can go and I can work out and then come home, get it
Nick
up
Mutton,
on my own.
Nick Mutton, man. Nick Mutton,
you know?
don't be out here throwing the wet noodle around, bro.
No, but you know, at least there's a lot of people in the industry that can help you with those kind of things too. Like it's, you know, we all like reptiles and snakes here, but we all come from different areas. So
Yeah.
there's lots of us. I'm sure Patrick has some good health tips too. Look at that guy; he's fucking cut.
For sure, yeah.
Kettlebells.
I mean, you look at
Yeah.
him and you're like, man, his diet must suck. And then you look at the shit he eats and you're like, how the fuck do you do that? You know,
Yeah, I
like,
know,
damn.
man.
Yeah.
He's like a human hummingbird, man. He's little and he's just
I know.
always moving.
Yeah, that's a problem. I'm big, man. I'm like 6'4", 225 pounds. So,
Okay. All right.
All right, so you guys want to close it out?
yeah, let's close it out, man. I'm getting
You
tired.
close it out. Go ahead,
Ah.
pimp.
We're gonna let you get some rest, Randy. But we appreciate you,
No, I appreciate you
coming
having
on,
me
man.
man.
and we
Always down to
appreciate
bullshit.
you for taking it off the rails. We appreciate it. It's a good time.
Sometimes
It's
it
a good
needs to,
time.
you know.
It's salad,
That's the
man.
whole thing, man. Salad man, salad man,
man.
and salamander, man.
Trying to go. Randy finna go
Salad
attack that
Randy.
salad. The crouton.
The barter system. He's talking about for snakes or what?
I don't know what y'all got to work that out offline. I don't want. That's not
Barter system
CPR
for the
business.
All right,
But-
y'all.
But anyway,
You guys
man,
all
have a good night. And thank you.
Peace-
And thank
peace
you
and fish
everybody for
grease.
showing up.
Hey, y'all, thank you for fellowshipping with us tonight. You know what I'm saying?
Everybody,
I'm out of
Fellowship,
beer,
the
too.
congregation. The congregation, you know? And remember, hey,
CPR.
look, remember, y'all, don't let the little head control the big head. Church.
I got 5 kids. Take it from me. Fuck it.
Church.
Oh, yeah, that's crazy. Good night, y'all.
Peace.